welcome to the 5th Annual TAB Member Conference and Awards. I am Ravi Mani, COO of TAB India, and I am getting us started on this event. Before we begin, let us set the context with an overview of how we will be spending our time together. The conference is running over Zoom across multiple locations. For our TAB members, they are invited business owner connects, their teams, and guests. Today, we are delighted to have an array of keynote speakers, Mr. C.K. Ranganathan of Kevin Care, Mr. Himanshu Srivatsava of NSE, Mr. V. Rajmohan of Supreme Power Equipment, and a message from Jason Zickerman. More about them later. I would like to thank our event sponsors, Loopify and Nexus. Members and your guests, this conference was possible because of your active and enthusiastic participation. We cordially welcome all of you to this event. We have a members corner in this website that can be accessed using the login credentials that we have provided to you. It mentions details of all our members. Please take time to visit and connect with any of them, either during the networking session or later. We have a busy schedule for the next 3 hours. The session has got 2 broad agendas. The first is a welcome address by Ramas Krishnan, our managing partner, followed by knowledge sessions by our speakers for the day. The second, of course, is the award announcements, for which I guess most of us are eagerly waiting. You are invited to post your questions to the speakers in the Q&A button, not the chat, the Q&A button you can see on your screen. They will be collated and addressed to the speaker as time permits. From an administrative perspective, we will invite all the members to get together on Zoom at the end of the program for some live interactions. Finally, like last year, if you wish to revisit any of the sessions, you can access a recording on the website itself. We will be hosting the recording for each of the sessions by end of next week. So here we go. It is my pleasure to introduce Ramas Krishnan, who has been instrumental in bringing TAB into India. With his 25 plus years of global corporate and consulting experience, he has been an early leader in the Indian SME space for over 15 years now. I welcome Ramas to take us through the first part of the conference and speaker sessions until I meet you again for the award ceremonies. Over to you, Ramas.
Hey, thank you, Ravi. True to your role as well as to your character, we began sharp on time. It's probably 3 and I don't know, 2 seconds maybe. And also the precise way in which kind of you've outlined all the operational matters because they are important. We are investing in the future. So request all the participants to stay focused and give your valuable feedback and take it forward from there. So thank you very much, Ravi, again. And I'm here on behalf of my fellow shareholder and life partner, Lakshmi Ramaswamy, our COO and lead facilitator, Coach Ravi, you just met, our TBOs who form part of the community, Madhavan, Ramesh, Suren, Bhavesh, and Soma, our team lead and ops head, the Sutradhar behind the conference, Ajinkya, and all our team members at TAB India. Absolutely. The members who are actually the essential ingredient and contributors to the conference as well, a warm welcome. This is our 5th conference, right? We have made some exciting additions to the concept as we learn and grow. I remember the first time we met physically, we pivoted in COVID. And the idea of this conference actually originated from our members, because I still remember a time when all of us were meeting in our office discussing the idea of what we can do for TAB as members. And a few of them actually happened to mention tongue-in-cheek actually, that while we as business owners reward all our team members and find many occasions to celebrate, is that there are very few who acknowledge us as business owners for what we do. Well, that was the spirit that launched this event. So with each TAP conference, it is definitely our collective pride as business owners because we are a peer-to-peer organization. It's our collective effort and our collective pride to keep the business owners' flag flying high. So here we are. Let's get started. At this time, I request my fellow director, Lakshmi, to join me on screen. So oftentimes in our journey, thank you. So oftentimes in our journey, we miss milestones, right? And unless they are right upon us, sometimes we are so busy doing what we are doing that a milestone kind of slips back. And very often somebody reminds us and knocks us on our head and reminds us for a birthday or anniversary or whatever it be. So that's how we felt kind of on the conference, because this was our 5th event. And like with many good things, the event did go through its ups and downs. Like I said, COVID posed a challenge, multi-location poses a challenge. So we tried and experimented a lot of stuff. And, we've kind of learned from it. And we are now formalizing an approach, which I will be sharing with you, which seems to kind of make sense for a lot of us. But I must say, in spite of all these ups and downs, the conference has remained very firm in its purpose to connect, collaborate, and celebrate. So at this moment, I invite Lakshmi to add her welcome with me and share our joy. Over to you, Lakshmi.
Thank you, Ramas. Hello, everyone, and I extend a warm welcome to all those gathered here today. We feel privileged to welcome the new members to the TAP group. I take this opportunity to congratulate the existing members for their extraordinary achievements and setting standards for the community. Before we move forward, I would like to congratulate the winners of today and wish you all a great year. With the blessings of Almighty, may the coming years be fruitful for each and every one. Good luck, everyone, and over to you, Ramas.
Thank you. Thanks, Lakshmi, as always, and we will get a video of her lighting the lamp a little later. Now, as business owners, our stakeholders are our families. We know that, but we may not remember it as often. Because our families are shareholders and stakeholders witness, participate, invest, and share in all our ups and downs in our journey. As first-gen entrepreneurs, Lakshmi and I have shared many such experiences which we did not imagine when we were in corporate lives. And therefore, each year at the conference, both of us believe that we celebrate not only our members, but we celebrate their spouses, their children, their families, and the teams, and everybody collectively for the spirit of entrepreneurship. And that's what makes us who we are. Right. Each year, as I prepare to introduce the conference, I take some time to look ahead, to identify some key trends that make up the world that we live in, and more importantly, assess their impact and relevance to us as business owners. These insights can help us shape our plans, as the conference also happens to be a milestone in our annual planning interview process, or APR, like we like to call it. The purpose, therefore, of this particular trends are to shape our thinking on our strategic goals, which we can include as part of our business plan, other than, of course, the business as usual. Because every year we need to move forward on our strategic intent as much as our operational intent. So here are 3 trends that I believe we should look out for. We all know that we are in a very, very interesting phase in India and also the world. Amazingly, 2024 almost looks to be the whole world's election year. There are more than 30 plus countries, I'm told, who are all going into elections this year. But there are some very clear patterns in the way the countries are electing their leaders. Of course, our objective here is not to comment on the politics, but actually to prepare because of their socio-economic impact. As SMEs, there is no doubt that we do need to leverage the global ecosystem. But we also need to recognize that we do not operate in isolation. Anything that happens in the world finds its way to us sooner or later. It does not matter how small or big we are. Therefore, I think it's important that we use our skills to plan better and not just rely on our famed agility for firefighting, right? Even with events as they happen. So maybe we could transfer some of that skill set to a little bit of look ahead and deal with lesser surprises as we go along, because surprises are going to be there. It doesn't matter what they are, but there will be nonetheless. The second trend I see is that across all our members for sure, and with the larger SME space, in fact, I don't even think it is SMEs. I'm even thinking it is the larger sounding board issue as far as owners are concerned all over the place is about dealing with employees. It seems to be the most common trend that we see. Now, I find it a little funny that we as individuals love choices for ourselves and flexibility in what we do, but we hate those very choices when it happens for others. So here is a simple perspective from me. We all know how to best market and sell to win more customers from our competition. Maybe it's time to apply the very same skills to attract and retain teams. If all of us business owners see employees with the same lens as we see our customers, new ideas and thoughts will emerge. Else, like very much in sales, we can have a great product, but not enough clients. Thirdly, a bit about diversification. Conventionally, we think of diversification as an exercise in adding products, geographies, verticals, etc. Of course, these are normal outcomes of diversification. But I just want to share a thought that the core purpose of diversification is also to manage risks, as we see with our investment portfolios. Growth should help us diversify risks as much as to scale. As SME owners, very often we find ourselves victim to so-called loyal customers, markets, employees, vendors, suppliers, offerings, which lead us into a downward spiral. So as we plan for the next year, maybe we can truly diversify our portfolio and see what these trends have to offer to us. With that, I immediately see that Mr. CKR has joined us promptly at 3:10 for his 3:15 sessions. So I just want to take a minute to say hi to him and ask for 3 more minutes as we complete a few thoughts and do the lamp lighting, and then we will cut over to him bang on time. Again, thank you very much for being there, CKR, and I'll steal a few more minutes from you.
Thank you, no problem. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Yeah, great, thanks. So this conference, and I think this is interesting, I think CKR does a lot of this stuff with entrepreneurs as well. So maybe this is just interesting for me to say that this conference is actually one of the 3 steps as we go along, right? The single biggest habit change that we at TAB, if I believe we have changed in the last many years for our members, is the way we see Q4. We don't want to see Q4 as a billing push. We actually want to see it as a planning start. It's not an end, but a start in a way. So the objective is to spend time to realign our business and our teams with our personal vision of success. And that is the starting point. And you know what? Funnily, like everything Indian, any big personal milestones in our life, we usually end up celebrating. That's a very, very Indian thing. And therefore, if you see, planning is not an easy process as well. So we use the conference as a way to kickstart our planning process for the next year, as a celebration to all that our members have achieved in the last year, and also gain key insights from our keynote speakers who share their value. We then move forward to an APR Look Ahead event, which is a face-to-face event where we set out the key drivers, we look at the key trends, and we provide an open peer-to-peer platform to discuss specific opportunities and issues. Finally, at the third step, each board and the members sit one-on-one with their facilitators using the TAB methodology, the TAB tools, and the TAB planning processes for building a detailed operating plan, which then they publish to their board as well as to their members. This way, we take guard each fresh year, building from our score of last. What's new this year? Based on active member feedback, this year we have decided to formalize what Chennai and Pondicherry has been doing for a while, is a face-to-face APR Look Ahead event, which is actually phase 2 of this conference. We will be having 3 dates, Mumbai, Pondicherry, and Chennai. Please look out for these dates with your facilitators, but do block your agenda. We will have a physical event, which is multi-location across board. So it's a great opportunity for all of you members to travel across location, meet members from across different boards, so that we can actually attend any or all locations, and together we come. We'll have a lot of topic discussions related to your businesses, open house Q&A for any questions you may want to ask, and peer-to-peer boards across members so that all of us may benefit. And please remember, use this opportunity. We welcome your partners, we welcome your referrals, we welcome any business owner who may benefit, because it's an open house event that we do every year to help entrepreneurs. This is our way of contribution. So please mark the event and we look forward. As always, a tradition, a quick 15-second check on what we do and how our progress card has been for the year. It's our pride that 90% of TAB members in the last year, over 22 plus industries, have grown their business as per their plan to actual. That's indeed a 3rd year in a row that we've achieved it, including the COVID years. India grew, And we have over 90% retention, which is among the best in the TAB community across 23 countries, because our members do stay with us. But what I'm exceptionally proud of is the way in which our StratPro, which is our next level team coaching engagements, have grown. By far, India has the maximum number of next level team coaching engagements in the TAM ecosystem across 25 countries. Not only that, many of our next level team coaching engagements are going into our 4th and 5th year, where the next level teams are now preparing the operating plan and presenting it to the owners straight away using the same tools and methods. That is a matter of pride for us. As a growth marker, we were very happy to welcome Soma and Lakshmi, who have joined our Chennai team as TBOs. Plus, in a significant expansion, we have now a North India master, Atul and his wife Deepti, who bring in their rich BNI experience and start their operations in Delhi and Noida. That's a great thing for us. Therefore, so it's time that we have lots to celebrate, to connect, collaborate, and celebrate our achievements. At this time, I think it's important. We are bang on time, and so it's good. So now that we have CKR, it is time to light up our dreams, right? The idea is light, I believe, has a very positive quality, just like most things positive, right? It can actually increases and multiplies when we share, and therefore we light a traditional lamp. We are going to do the same, albeit virtually, with Lakshmi, after which we'll immediately get started with our first keynote session with CKR. Thank you for being there. Ravi has already thanked Lookify and Nexus, and we specifically thank Aditya Marfatia, who allows us to set up our control center in his office year after year as one of our longest members at TAB. Thank you. With that, we get into the keynote session. The idea was to build a global professional organization, providing life lessons in vision, brands, and community. Thank you, sir. So I'm going to, begin the session with an introduction, and this is the formal part of what CKR wants us to share, but I'll also add a few tidbits of mine before I hand over the stage to him. Born in Cuddalore, obviously he has invested in his own family business, and it's important that he started in 1998 with just an initial investment of 15,000. From there, as a visionary as he is known, he's really created a driving force behind Kevin Care. I mean, you can see the whole slew of brands that are on his profile, and I'm sure none of us have never been touched by any of those brands we have. And so he has grown with a global footprint of about 43 countries. He's been in manufacturing, but many people I know is the supplier enablement that he's done, where he's focused on building a brand and build a huge system of entrepreneurs who now work with him to build these brands. He was always an early entrant in the unisex salons in India, offering personal styling. What's more important is outside the boardroom. He's celebrated not only as an innovator, but also as a philanthropist. He currently serves as the president of TIE, that is TIE chapter. We all know who chapter is, and I'm going to talk about his TIE experience in a bit as well, right? In the way he's launched specific program for entrepreneurs. Apart from that, he has held leadership positions in many industry associations, such as CII, AIM, and MMA. And he also has many foundations, including Chinna Krishna Innovation Awards, to actually celebrate individuals and small entrepreneurs. Like I said, before I just pass on the podium, I also want to share a few tidbits about my personal experience with him. It may sound funny because he and I haven't really even met face to face. But while his profile talks a lot, it's very important that how one hears about a person who one hasn't met. So CKR, I'm going to tell you this. I know a lot of people who know you, and I know them well, right? It's not about books, it's about people I know you who know you. And you know what? There is a larger than life persona that you carry with you. But let's me tell what the single common description that I've heard about people, and that is that you are a giving person. And it's not one, two, it's about 5 or 6 people who's told me this in different words. And let me tell you, that spoke a lot about you. And also my own experience with Soma, when we connected with him, I want to tell everybody in our audience that when Soma approached him as part of TIE, he immediately agreed and very graciously accepted as soon as he understood the intent. What's been important is a few connections after that. He's been personal and prompt in his responses, emails, including this morning, where he reconfirmed that he's going to be at 3:10 and here he was, right? He gave some time to be on a prep call. All of this tells us a little bit about the person and the consistent construct with which he has built all he has done. So transparency, professionalism are things that he has heard. But TIE, I want to specifically say that he has actually put TIE Chennai on the global map. Right? Today, lots of people in TIE are looking to Chennai for the magic that he's recreated, because very uniquely, he has impacted tens of thousands of SME entrepreneurs and helping them build the business. All of us do share our business owner passion. And so we are looking forward to this session and the guidance as we go along. Sikyar, thank you very, very much for being here. And I hand over the panel to you. Welcome.
Thank you, Ramas. And also, I'd like to thank Somsekhar for giving me this opportunity. Hope my voice is very clear. Okay,
Absolutely.
Thanks. So I am going to talk, maybe I will talk about 25 to 30 minutes, then Q&A will go. This is what is a kind of this thing, we'll go on with that.
Absolutely.
So I would like to talk about, there is a concept called the law of lid. I don't know how many of you are aware. This is, the lid is on top of the jar or on top of the bottle, whatever it is. So everyone has a lid. So that is, I think we need to understand the lid is proportional to our personal growth, personal knowledge, and the competency we build. Whatever level we are, I think to that level we can achieve success. If that is lower, then your success will be eluding you. And if that is higher and higher, you will keep growing. For some reason, if you stop learning and say that, no, I have come to some level, my business is going, I am not going to invest or grow myself, the business will go automatically, you may be wrong. You only need to have a fluke to do that. But a very important point is that the law of lid applies only to the extent of your knowledge. So what I would say is personal growth, personal knowledge, what you develop, personal development, and business, the knowledge on the business related issues. The more you augment yourself, the more you will grow. This is what I would say. I would also like to be very candid to say that I would not be talking to you had I not invested in myself. I was normally in my school days to college, I was very, very academically weak. I used to fish a lot. Fishing is my hobby. And almost to the extent of I was a very dedicated fisher guy who used to fish with the fishing rod or combination of techniques, whatever you use. I enjoyed fishing. Wow. I also enjoyed spending time with my pets. So this is the way I was. But when I came into business, I left everything and started seriously learning and investing in myself. My English was very bad, but I need to put a lot of efforts to augment myself because I was very clear that English is one language I need to learn so that I can read and update myself and also canvas with people beyond Tamil Nadu. So for that reason, I started putting a lot of efforts and learned English. And doesn't stop with learning English, but I started reading. I landed onto a book, which is a very powerful book by Dr. Hyrum Smith, which is 10 Natural Laws of Successful Time and Life Management. And that book has defined one of the things that Dr. Hyrum Smith was mentioning in the book is magic 2.5 hours. So this is, you spend about 2.5 hours in the morning before going to the office individually and start investing in yourself. I think that would make a magic. I said I started doing this. Initially, I started feeling, okay, there is something, I feel confident when I started updating myself. But I'm not seeing any growth immediately. But the more confidence I started getting when I understand new concepts, new this thing knowledge, my confidence started growing millimeter by millimeter. Over a period of time, I have walked miles and miles, is what I would say. So all I would like to say is that this is a very important thing of investing in yourself is what I would very strongly recommend. There is a book called Morning Miracle. I would like you to read that. Morning Miracle is a very powerful book. Because if you really want to succeed, if you are thirsty of success, please invest in yourself. If you don't invest in yourself, it will be a suboptimal success. But you want to do a very good job, that dedicated time you invest is very important. Most of us, 99% of us, I've interviewed a lot of people. My interview is very typical. I ask them, what is the kind of thing they do in the right from the morning? To my surprise, almost, I think 1 out of 25 might say something they are investing. Otherwise, morning wake up to exercise will come, spending newspaper and other things, all these things, then going to drop the kids at school or something like that, then going to office, then coming back in the evening, okay, putting that, spending time with family, dinner, retiring. That's a typical thing. Very few have kind of this thing I've come across stating that I prepare myself. I do a lot of work which improves my caliber. It's not clearing mails and all. Please understand, not clearing mails, SMS, phones to complete the leftover tasks of the day. So this is really seriously investing in yourself to grow intellectually. So I think that's a very important thing. I would very strongly recommend, having gone through personal experience, your investment in that is very important. You are in personal growth. I would say what I did in the 2.5 hours, magic 2.5 hours. Half an hour goes towards physical exercise, my body. So I need to be healthy so that I can run along. Okay? That's a very important thing. So, but first thing is that I do in terms of looking at that, reflecting the yesterday's things. What was the kind of this thing? How I spent my time? Which meeting went off well? Which meeting could have been better? Therefore, what is the learning? The moment I reflect back, I said I could have done this area better. I should have much more prepared. Then I think it's very important. I started learning. I need to reflect a lot and start appraise myself of. Now I don't require somebody to come and tell me. I need to appraise myself. So that reflection teaches me quite a lot of value. And therefore, a lot of conviction. No, I'm going to do like this. The path is very clearly defined when you reflect continuously. The next one I would do is also, if you look at preparing for the day's meeting. Whatever is a meeting, I would say next. The reflection will take typically 10 minutes to 15 minutes max. And after that, about 30 minutes, I will prepare for the day's meeting. I, being the head of the organization, I can just like that go, not preparing any meeting. It's internal. But I would not like to do that. Even for this meeting, I prepared myself. What are the points I'm going to talk is very important to me. So I prepare for that, this thing, for the day's meeting, critical meetings and all. Then I go to the meetings. And I have seen when I prepare and go to the meeting, I am 10 times more effective than top of the mind. I go there, simply go sit there, and whatever I know, I talk. I think when you prepare, you think, you put a lot of thoughts behind it, and that quality of thought is much more better. Therefore, much better outcome will come. And that's the way I think I would say I have grown my organization. The third one I would say is a very important one, is the thinking on areas of improvement in the business or anything I want. I create in my OneNotes, I have a folder called Thinking Topics. Whichever one I would like to do, this helps me to be proactive. I start listing down, and then I would have another folder called First Creation. First Creation is the topics out of that, I put it and start completely visualizing and say, this is what I have to do. So those are the thinking topics is what I would say. For example, HR, I'm not happy. So then I would say that let me look at the HR, rejigging HR and revisiting the HR function and its deliverables. I'm going to reset the expectations. Then I'll start documenting. I don't use pen and paper other than for signing anything important statutory papers or any bank documents. Otherwise, I'm only digitally, I only use my iPad and iPhone. So I start documenting it in the kind of thing. As I start thinking, I'll start typing in my iPad. I think my thinking starts accelerating. And at the end of the thing, I keep much better. I can also say without typing or without writing in the pad, if you start doing it, you will not travel well. My strong recommendation is if you want to start thinking, please do it. Start writing whatever it comes to your mind on that particular topic. Start writing it. Then your thoughts will be 100 times far better than just thinking without any aid. So I would say that it is very important. There is a saying, a man is a product of his own thinking. I would say a man or a woman, it applies same. A person is a product of his or her own thinking. Please understand, thinking is a foundation of your success. So I can also say one thing, anything is created twice in the world, not once, twice, including a building you are sitting in. Some architecture, as an architect has visualized, he consulted the owner who is interested in kind of this thing. He made some suggestion, all these things. Pictorially he shows. And finally, then everything is approved, budget is provided, the building is getting constructed. What is mental creation is transformed into a physical creation. This is not for an asset like this building alone. Even in the organization, HR function, how should I do? Or as a whole, Kavinkar, how I wanted to make it big. I think that's a visualization. Part by part is very important. There is a saying, I would say, vivid imagination, which is very, very important. The more vividly you imagine, the far better it is. It kindles the desire in you. You know, for anything great to achieve, you require a strong desire. You require a strong desire in such that you would not sleep easily. That will burn you. It's very important. So such strong desires are very essential for achieving great heights. This particularly, the kind of this thing, what you are kind of saying, the thinking fuels the desire. The more depth, vivid imagination, vivid thinking fuels the desire. So therefore, a connection between thinking and desire, strengthening the desire. You work hard, you go and sleep only for 4 hours, but you wake up much more enthusiastically. You don't feel like you are deprived of sleep, only when you are passionate. So there is a saying, if you are passionate, anything great can be achieved. So for people who are working in the office, there's a popular quote, don't chase your passion. Don't chase your pension, chase your passion. So chasing the money is going to be limited. You will get tired faster. But if you chase your passion, you will grow on and on and on. So that, I think, I would stop here as far as the morning rituals are concerned. The last one, I think that there is one more morning ritual. I read books. I listen to audio cassettes. Okay. You can do YouTube also. But content which will help me to grow, content where I wanted to invest. For example, I wanted to improve my HR function. I will read HR related topics. I will read books relating to that. How do I build talent pipeline? So all these things. So I think that's very important. I don't get fooled yourself with WhatsApp, lot of videos or this thing getting message forwarded. You feel like you are learning something. Those are all something that's not relevant immediately that can be applied. Accidentally something maybe. But a lot of time, I think you need to consciously learn something which you can apply the next day or the same day is very important. If you don't do that, I think you will only be missing a very important point in life. So the morning is a very important thing. Somebody will have an evening. Jack Ma, Alibaba ex-chief, he said his miracle time is night 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. He feels, I feel I'm at peace. I can invest leisurely there. but I can't do that. After going home, I would like to spend time with my family, sleep early. Next day morning, I look forward to go to office. So this is one thing I would say is what is a very important thing about personal growth. Then I would talk about business. There are 7 stakeholders in business. If you understand the importance of these 7 stakeholders and the hierarchy of importance, who is first important, who is second important, like that, and then you apply those simple principles in managing or nourishing those 7 stakeholders, I think you will easily succeed. So I would talk about one by one my experience in building Kavincare with that. Okay. First one is customers. Customer is king. Please understand, you need to look at that as to how we go about all out with the customers. So I started as a copycat. I moved on to a kind of a thing. It was about to fail. Then I said, okay, there is something new to be done. We discussed with our team members. They said, this same product like competition, we can't win. So I went on to create a new differentiation with my team, launched it, we succeeded. Okay, that is a costly learning of don't be a copycat, but try to differentiate. So the second one I would say is the employees. Employees are a very important second stakeholder. It's a very important stakeholder. I will talk about those 7 stakeholders. Customer first, second is employees, third is vendors, fourth is banks and financial institutions, fifth is government, sixth is the society we live in, seventh is the owner or the shareholders. Okay, that I think we need to understand. If there is a money shortage in the company, I think take the needs of customer, employees pay the salary well, pay the vendors well, pay the banks or financial guys who are lending you money well, pay taxes, take care of the society. After leftover money, the owner can take. Many people miss this point. The moment cash flow starts coming, they may not pay the vendors on time. They will start buying a good car and they would like to invest in some home and so on. It comes at the cost of some vendor dissatisfaction, not paying them on time, stretching the credit period. I have seen that happening. So I think that all will not allow you to grow over a period of time. You junk a particular stakeholder, you will pay penalty for that in some form or other. I think that needs to be very clearly understood. I realized it. I did mistake with every stakeholder. I didn't held on to a good person who was very brilliant employee. I used to pay salary only on the 5th or 7th or 8th or 10th of the month, following month. So I didn't realize, because whenever cash flow permits, I'll give. I've seen that the other companies are doing that. My family owned enterprise used to do the same way. I also did that. But very bright manager I had, youngster, he came back and said, I'm resigning. I said, you are growing well, you are doing very good, I will give you more salary. He said, no, it's not the salary part. I enjoy my job, but I can't go back and tell my wife and the kind of this thing, the guys where we buy provisions and all, that are my landlord rent. I will pay this day or that day. I keep on borrowing time. Next week I will do like that because you are not paying me salary on time. Now I am going to an organization where I'll be paid every time by the 1st of the month. That was a big blow to me. I said, okay, come what may, I am going to pay salary on time. So I borrowed at a very high interest rate from that time onwards, but I couldn't retain that guy. I lost, but that's a lesson I learned. So I started paying on salary every month, last working day of the month itself, then going to the next month. And I think this is phenomenally helping us in terms of a stable company who would pay us on time and so on. So at the end of the day, people makes a difference, boss. You need to have great people with you who will push the wheel higher and higher. The third one is a vendor. I didn't plan my cash flow well when I initial days. Bill rings, telephone bill rings. My reception is taking. And she tells me closing the phone and so on the line, he wants to talk to you. I know already I have not paid him for the last 1 week. Said quickly, like any this thing, without shame, I said, tell him that I'm not available. I've gone out. So after that, I was just gone back to my room and thinking, what the hell am I? Am I teaching my staff that when I am here, I am telling them that as if I'm not available, which is not a right thing. So I said, I need to conduct myself as a good leader. I gained a lot of strength, a lot of mental courage. Immediately within 10 minutes time, I told my staff, connect the vendor. So the vendor came online, blasted me left, right, and center, for not obeying the kind of this thing. I pleaded him that give me another 15 days time, I will settle this thing. So he shouted, and finally, where he has no other go, you don't want to pull me to the court. He said, okay, 15 days time. Within 15 days, I borrowed something, I paid. After that, I hired a better finance person, said, predict cash flow better so that we are not in a position. We started buying material prudently, not too much material. All these things helped. So commitment like that. Then paying the banks, I didn't pay the bank on time. So we took loan. So I cleared for all the missionary settlement and all. Went back to the next loan. The banker said, sorry, we can't give you. Because your track record says, none of the installments you paid on time. I said, I paid the interest, whatever you wanted. I paid delayed, but I paid no. He said, no, but this time as a warning, we'll give you. But if you keep delaying this, next time we won't give you. Because this is a symptom in our records. The more you delay, you might eventually pay. We may charge you penalty and so on. The more you delay, it's a symptom that one day the loan may go bankrupt. The loan may not be paid. So non-performing asset, they call it NPA. So I realized that then from that time onwards, paying bank also on time. Similarly, government taxes, I erred on paying it on time. Sales tax, delay it, give it next month and so on. Penalty, and all these things I think is a very important thing. But one thing, I paid income tax in the very early days. My auditor used to say, look, Ranganavan, you pay taxes. This is what you have to pay. He will compute and tell me I'll pay income tax. I went to the bankers for borrowing loan. He said, give me collateral security. I said, I don't have anything. I don't have anything to offer. He said, okay, fine. I wanted only 25,000 rupees. He said, 25,000 still we require collateral security. I went back. He said, okay, give me your the balance sheet, signed balance sheet. I gave. He was surprised. You are a small company. You are paying income tax. Can you give me 3 years, last 3 years? I gave it. In all the 3 years, we paid income tax. So he wrote a recommendation to regional office. This company is small, but they paid income tax every year. They are growing. We can give them loan. I think we are without any guarantee, security. But still, I am very confident of collecting. Bank gave 25,000. Then it became 1 lakh loan upgraded. I paid on time. 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs. Then it gets into crores possibility. So after that, I think it's only a discipline. The income tax paying has really helped me in getting a bank loan. So the next one is society. Wherever you live in, take care of the people well, make them happy, be helpful to the society, whether it is factory or office, all around, be a nice person, give back to the society where you live in, because you take from the society and do it. After all these things, if you have money, take it. That is what is a owner can take finally, is what I said. It took 20 years for me to buy my first home, own home. Otherwise, I was in a rented property. When I hit a turnover of about 300 crores, I had surplus money. I bought my R&D, space for R&D, bought R&D office space. Then I had surplus money. Then I went on to buy a house for myself. I think that's a discipline is very important. If you practice that, I think you can do wonders. So I think with this, I will stop. My 30 minutes is getting over with this. So we can move on to question and answers. So all I would urge is please practice discipline and commitment in terms of all the stakeholders. Personal discipline, personal commitment, right habits will make you a winner. Thank you.
Thank you. That was quite insightful, and it was really good in the way you kind of split your thinking between the personal habits and the business habits, because that's essentially was what we had spoken to you about. Because we believe that there's a lot of things that the individual needs to do for the business to take. But I'm going to extend your thinking on the business a little bit, right? because you scaled your business, right, in a big way. So let me ask you, when you started off as an entrepreneur, there must have been a time where you really decided that you need to scale, right? And what were you thinking at that time, moving from a family managed business to a professional scaled organization? What were those thoughts at that time which triggered you?
At that time, I think the only one fundamental thing is how do I grow, but grow professionally. That was my thoughts. So first I thought I was confused. Well, good quality people, managers, we put them, they will do a very good job. It is need not be. I think that is always very important thing. That is something the owner need to do when you want to scale up also. Okay. The direction is very, very important. I would say there are 5 fundamental principles that are required to build a business. Strategy, your ideas to grow the business. This is what I would say. Strategy, structure, the organization structure, the caliber of people that is required to be placed in that position is what is the structure. The third one is the people, the right person for the right job. You know that Chandrasekhar will be the right person for this. Venugopal will be the right person for this. Like that, I think is very important to choose the right person for the right job. It is not based on the just education qualification. I thought he is a very MBA. I thought he will do well. And without knowing, then you will pay the penalty. So strategy, structure, people. The fourth one is the process, which is very important. This is where it is a person dependent or process dependent organization. An SOP starts off with an SOP, the way to do things, but everything should be a process driven is a very important. You need to graduate. Okay, person dependency to process dependency. The last one is technology. How do you wire all these things into technology? Because technology, when you go, then it is a very important thing. As you grow from an MSME to this, because I have started off with just 2 people as an organization to grow to this level. I have seen in my own thing how every numbers multiply. But all I can say is I can talk so confidently because I have done this. Not only that, I have also read and started understanding and implementing these things. So it's a very important thing, is what I would say. So the person dependency is a very important. The one need to break that and move into a process dependency. When you wire the technology, you get into a next phase of business, which is called evidence-based management. So this is a very important myth. A lot of entrepreneurs today they will face. Even I'm sure out of these people who are attending, at least 50% of them will be suffering. I believe this guy is a very confident guy. He will do kind of this thing, which is very important. This right man for the right job. But it cannot be blind faith. There should be checks and balances. There is a method prescribed by the company. They need to do that way. They need to operate within the boundaries. So if you don't define the boundary, at any cost you can do, then there could be value violation also. There could be many short-term things will come. So the very important thing is the process dependent technology wiring that is very important. Today I can say we are also in terms of transitioning. It is an evolving story. Our sales management is evidence-based. Okay, evidence-based in the sense to the extent, what I would say, that we are applying, if there is a person working in Kashmir or in Kanyakumari, we are able to say, how is his behavior based on data? Data-based analysis of behavior, is having a behavioral problem or skill set gaps. Positive behavior, very positive behavior, very good. Encourage him to promote more, handle more responsibilities. Negative behaviors, want them, if they don't improve, shake hands. Behavior is within. So it is, if they don't change, nothing great will come. If there is a skill set gap, we are very clear. We said we'll train, we'll improve them. So these are something I would like to say is strategy, structure, people, process, and technology. One need to be thorough. This is an order. If you do it, this is also an order, like the 7 stakeholders. You can't judge that.
Wow. That's pretty insightful. Good. So there are a few questions from the audience. Before that, I want to kind of continue one thought process. See, there's a difference between growth and scale, right? You have scaled it, and growth, I agree, is required for everybody. But many business owners are thinking about scaling. So in your opinion, do you think growth is compulsory, but do you think everybody needs to scale, or is that something personal?
Everybody?
Needs to scale, think big, and become very big? Or is
I
that a
think
mandate? Or
my
is that...
viewpoint, I would recommend a book called The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David Schwartz, okay, which is a very, very good book. It's available in multiple languages. Okay, Amazon, you can go and buy in Hindi, or you can go in Tamil or Telugu, any language available. But I think in a world which is changing fast, you can't say that I'm going to remain small. If you start remaining small, you will get killed. So there is no option. I would say that it is like catching the tiger's tail. If you leave that, that will kill you. So you have no other option but to grow.
Okay, that's a great analogy. That's a great analogy. Okay, so I'm going to move to a few audience questions. Before that, one was, what is the name of the book you read? So I'm going to tell the audience that we're going to go through your recording, and whatever books you recommended, we'll send a list to all the participants. So I won't ask you to repeat it. So let me go to a few questions. One of them is that we are a mid-sized company, with less than 100 crores. And we want to grow beyond, but we seem to be stuck there. What is the mindset for growth that one should have?
So I think you need to ask, if you are stuck up at 500 crores, whether you are playing this right, strategy, structure, people, process, and technology, you need to ask. If that is I'm very sure there'll be some gap. My ideas may be weak. I may not have the next generation ideas that may take me to the next level. Or I may be very bad in execution. I have people, not the right people. I fumble on execution. I tolerate mediocrity. Could also be one of the reasons. I'm more a people-dependent organization. Beyond 100 crores, I'm not able to go. I don't have processes which are written, wired well with technology. People can't skip. For example, I'm telling you, the process should be very strongly wired. My salesman is there. He has to go to Kashmir and in a particular street or store, he has to work today. We know very clearly defined. If he doesn't go to that shop, when he go just 3 meters before the stop only, the outlet name will appear to him. Okay, he can take order taking thing and all will open up. Otherwise, it will not open. He can't sit in a cafeteria and say, I start filling the order. It's not possible. So these are all technology has come, simple thing. You can start evaluating and doing that. So the 100 crore, majority of the time, it is a person dependency is where my friend would have got stuck up and not having enough processes. Okay. Our right man for the right job is not there. We need to check all these things. Legacy issues. I have my uncle managing this or my friend managing this. This guy has been for 10 years kind of the thing. But I think we need to ask, if I'm sitting in the chair, I may be the owner or a professional. Very important. I think I need to do justice to my chair, whether you are a owner or a professional. You need to ask, am I doing the right thing by tolerating this guy? He's not delivering. He's not raising up along with this thing organization need. He may be a good person. He may have served very well in the last 10 years. But if he doesn't raise up, he pulls the organization growth. That warning and taking stern calls, helping them to come out of that, or handshake and say the bus stop has come, get out for you. I think it's a journey. Please understand. Not every people will come right from the beginning to end of the journey. There is a bus stop. They have to get down when the stop comes. This is very ruthlessly the owner has to practice. And majority of MSMEs suffer on account of mediocrity tolerance, I'll tell you. The very important thing. This guy has been there for some, all these kind of things. You kill the organization growth because your mental tenacity is very important to grow.
Yeah, I take that as a straight answer. Mental tenacity to do what is right for the chair. I think that was a very, very insightful comment. So I think can I take your answer that how is the team following processes? You're saying use technology. Is that the good answer to give, right?
Write the process first, then use the technology to wire it. So that even if somebody wants to skip it, he can't skip it. For example, I have done that. You have to go this route today, this street you have to go. You have to start from this outlet. This is the way the street starts and you have to end like this. But if he doesn't do that, we will know that whether he has gone to that outlet or not. So that's the way we are wired. You need to know sitting here that I don't know. I believe him. He will go. I think my supervisor will supervise. They will do that. That doesn't work. Even a B2B scenario, I think you need to be very clear whether this person has gone to my customer in a particular place, and just geotagging, geofencing is you have to start off. Very important. And some people will say, you don't believe us? I would like to sign off. This is not right. I said, okay, happily go off. This is a general rule for the organization. We are setting a long-term one. And that mental tenacity is again important.
Coming back to that. Okay, great. A question now, let's shift game a little bit. The question is more now about the global trends, right? And how do you see the India opportunity and the global economic scenario from where you sit? Because you come across so many people, meet so many situations. What is your view?
I think India has been growing for quite some time. Okay. There may be 1 or 2 years during the COVID, there is some stress and those are there. Okay. During the demonetization, some kind of this thing, pressures, all these things are there. But I think good days are ahead. Today, the McKinsey chief was talking, I read the news that it is not the decade, it is a century belongs to India.
Wow.
Okay. The world recognizes, given the kind of potential, given the way the purchasing power of Indians going up, I think we are here to grow. It is inevitable. Unless at the bureaucracy or political level, we messes it up. I don't think so. I think the country is well poised, if you ask me.
Great. And any one trend that you think is relevant for SMEs that we should take care of in our planning in the way we approach?
I only say, please embrace technology.
Okay.
Don't be ignorant. The AI and so on, it may be too high for you to start with, but start automating, start using technology more, move away from person dependency, take tough call on people who are mediocre, who don't raise up. Don't give them the advantage of they are there with me when they're struggling days in the past. All these things, I think those are to your peril.
Great. Okay, one interesting question is that when you have an organization with so many hierarchies and as large as Kevin Care, how do you ensure that your obsession with being customer first, right? How do you ensure that it kind of percolates down and other employees kind of follow the tack on that?
I think as a head of the organization, you get to see what is the thing that's being done. And if you don't practice, if it comes to you, you let it go of skipping, then you are the only thing. You decide what is given importance. For example, customer first, what we decided, let's not give a mediocre one. Let's not give a substandard quality. Let's have a better quality than competition so that I create trust in my customers. I create differentiated products. They are happy with that. So like that, I think you need to live by that. Otherwise, you will start diluting quality. Okay, give that kind of, this quality, this lot is produced slightly substandard. It is okay to kind of think. Do you have the mental tenacity to tell your team, see, this is a below quality. This can't be accepted. We can sell off and escape, but this will have an implication. We'll be disappointing our customer. I will destroy even if the cost is more. Destroy the stocks. That I think you are start practicing if you say that. So like that, lot of challenges will come. If you say employees for this thing, stakeholder importance, better make people to grow. No, if you have this thing, your failure of not growing, you can't be keep on recruiting from outside. Few special positions is okay. A guy is there with you for 5 years, 6 years, then you don't grow them to the next level, then you are something wrong with the organization. Is what you need to ask.
That's true. That's true. Great. I think we just have about a minute left. I'm very conscious of your time as well, though we could go on, but I'm going to ask you one question though. Firstly, I enjoyed the fact that, literally in typical word, you weren't giving a bhashan, quite honestly, because you were talking about a lot of life-saving experiences. You kind of were easy and affable enough to say, look, I made these mistakes, which seems very real to all of us who are hearing, essentially, because it kind of makes us feel good also. Okay, others have done it. That's, I think, the idea of a peer-to-peer interaction where people are honest. But I'll still ask you for one life-shaping experience, right? The one life-shaping experience that you can share with all of us that kind of really changed you.
I can say that I would say I was part of, when I finished my degree, I went and joined my family business. So I was given a scooter, then subsequently a car. The business was doing very well at that time. It just curling up. I also participated. My brothers were doing it well, and I did that. But as we start getting into the difference of opinion crept in between us, then I said, okay, I will walk off the family business. The only big buy a bullet is one of the things you have to bite the bullet is that I hang on. I say I require my share of this thing, business, nothing
Mhm.
great will come. You know that it will be a fight and go on. It will be neither good for them nor for me. Okay. So the other one is, then there is a family property. Okay. I told this thing, I thought through, I went back and told my mom and my brothers, I'm moving out of home. I'm going to be on this thing. I don't want to be any more burden, because it has come to this level that we can't have lunch, dinner, or breakfast across table one on one. We are not able to see eye to eye. Okay. I said, okay, I'll move out. This is not good. You have your own views. I have my own views. This is not the way to be done. So I think I went out of home. That was a very difficult situation. I said, I don't want any share in family business nor in family property. When I made this statement, they can't hold me. I just walked out of packing my clothes, whatever I had, clothes, and moved out of with my savings of 15,000. That's how my journey began. And that was a very difficult decision. So though my other brothers wanting to move one by one later date, but they were stuck up because they wanted some cash so that they would like to take the kind of this thing. They were not able to neither start something on their own nor able to let go of the past. So I think that is a very difficult decision. I did that. I'm happy I did that. I also would like to.
Really associate.
Yeah,
please
yeah,
go.
I would like. Yeah, I would like to close this thing with a quote, which is Paul J. Myers, and it is also I've experienced in my life. That's what I think is very important. The quote goes like this: whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act upon must inevitably come to pass. So I would repeat: whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, sincerely believe, and enthusiastically act upon must inevitably come to pass. And best wishes to all the entrepreneurs here. I'm sure if they practice this, they can grow leaps and bounds. Best wishes.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I think I take that as a prayer and a blessing for all of the people who listened and all of us as owners, because that's what matters, and your sincere well wishes. But I just learned one lesson I want to share, is that before you can become a business owner, I think you need to own your life. And I think your last example to me was just that. I think if you can't own your life, you can't own your business. And that is the common thread I saw in all your thinking, where you started from the personal habits, moved on to the business, talked about tenacity, talked about your personal learnings, and ended by saying the decision that you took is to take charge of your own life. And that, I think, was a very, very, for me, that's what I take away. Thank you so much for being there, and hopefully sometime I am going to look forward to meeting you face to face soon. And really, thank you very much for your time, sir. I appreciate this.
Thank you. Thank you all. Best have a great evening.
Great. That was a great session to set the tone. Thank you very much, CKR, as he is popularly known. And with that, we continue on to the next phase of the session. It's important to kind of keep the pace on, and we have our next guest ready. But before that, I wanted to kind of take a minute and talk about our TAB personality, right? Because we had Jason Zickerman, who would be participating. Normally, all those of us who've been with us for a while would realize that Jason usually wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning and normally participates in this conference. But this time we had a date clash. There is an international global conference happening. And so he wasn't able to be here at this time. And therefore, he kind of recorded a video personally for all of us and sent it across. So I'm going to play that quick 2-minute video before we move on to our next section. I just wanted to say that Jason is looking forward to coming to India very soon, because he's pretty passionate about India, like many of us are, but he's been saying this for a while now. And Jason is important to know, because this organization out of TAB, and which I fell in love with, is something I wanted to say, that this organization has been around for 30 years, but for almost 18 years, 19 of these years, they were in UK and US, of course, and then UK. And in the last 10 years, from 2, we've actually grown to 24. And a lot of this has been driven by the way Jason looked at the organization and internationalization. Today, across the country, all of us are a community. I would really, really invite all our members to really take charge of the globalization. There are so many members waiting. Members are traveling to India. In fact, I'm putting in touch with a couple of our members. When you guys travel abroad, go on vacation, some of our members have actually attended boards out there. So a very key part about TAB is the global connect, not just the tools and the methods and the boards. I think there's also a global connect. And some of our members have visited TAB headquarters, and you know what, they are truly excited to receive us just as much as any master in any country would love to. And all of us Indians, essentially business owners, are increasingly globalizing, increasingly traveling. I would encourage you to take the opportunity, right? And that's what Jason has come to recognize, is to build truly a global organization. So I have a 2-minute message from him, which I will play now, and then we will continue with our next section.
Welcome, everybody. I hope each and every one of you are thoroughly enjoying today's conference. Today marks the 5th edition of TAB India Member Conference and Awards, a testament to the strength and growth of our community. And India is a remarkable country with immense significance to TAB Boards International. I'd like to highlight some of your successes, look briefly into TAB's growth plans for India, and provide a glimpse into the key facets of this remarkable country. Recently, India surpassed the UK to become the world's 5th largest economy. And India offers a vibrant market for business growth and development. The country's strategic focus on SME sector aligns perfectly with TAB's mission, making India a pivotal player in our global network. And as we navigate global trends, TAB will continue to demonstrate excellence in providing valuable resources and networking opportunities, not only to the Indian business owners, but to our diverse membership throughout the world. Our strategic presence in Mumbai, Pondicherry, Rajkot, Chennai, along with our recent expansion to New Delhi, well, it exemplifies our commitment to fostering growth throughout all of India. And I'd like to announce and introduce to you our new master partner in the North, Atul Goswami and his wife, Dipti. You see, TAB is dedicated to facilitating collaboration and growth for all of our members in every corner of India. Now, TAB's journey doesn't stop here. We have ambitious future plans aimed at further enhancing our members' experiences, expanding our global footprint, and staying ahead of industry trends. And through our innovative programs, such as StratPro, Business Builders Blueprint, and TAB Connect, TAB will continue to foster success for you and your businesses, as well as our facilitators. Now, StratPro has been quite successful in India, with 22 current engagements and a number of them entering their 5th year. We're finding all around the world that business owners are benefiting significantly from StratPro workshops to fully engage their leadership teams in establishing vision, helping create a great culture, a strategic plan that everyone believes in, and providing the execution discipline to bring that vision to life. Now, India has been a pioneer with StratPro, providing the validation and success stories that is helping bring the same value to business owners in all the markets in which TAB operates. So thank you. We also appreciate that all of you have adopted the Business Builders Blueprint. This is our best practice methodology and platform for running businesses strategically. Now, I'm sure most, if not all of you, know that the Blueprint went under a massive upgrade in December. This upgrade takes the Business Builders Blueprint to a completely different level. And I'm confident that you will enjoy the many additions that have been made to increase the value to you. Now, TAB India will be celebrating many outstanding achievements today. And the award categories are the following: growth, innovation, harmony, StratPro, TAB Star, and Board Star. And I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to each and every one of the nominees, as well as the winners of these awards. You see, your achievements are a testament to the spirit of innovation, collaboration, and the excellence that defines the alternative board. And as we look towards the future, we're excited about the journey ahead and the collective success that awaits us. I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge our very special partner, Ramesh Krishnan, who several years ago had the vision to bring the TAB model to India. And I'm sure that all of you are able to appreciate his vision, his leadership, the talent in building such a wonderful community that we now have in India. Ramesh has also been a highly valuable contributor and leader within our global community. I often seek his counsel, as well as the other master partners around the world. He's a great asset to our community. And then finally, I want to acknowledge each of you, the entrepreneurs of the world. I've said for many years that if there was one group of people who I'd love to meet, It's the entrepreneur. It's not athletes or celebrities, but entrepreneurs. Because the entrepreneur is the most creative and interesting people that I've ever met. You create something out of nothing. Where others see obstacles, you see opportunities. You have amazing resilience. You create jobs and you care about your team members. So thank you. Thank you for being who you are and doing what you do. So I wish each and every one of you the rest of the conference to be the best it could possibly be for you. And I wish you all to be well, stay safe, and be kind. Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Well, that's great. And I'm saying that very soon, maybe we'll have an opportunity to meet up with him very soon. With that, I think he sends you his regards. He did call as well and said the same thing. And with that, let's move on to our next session. I'm hoping that all of us are deeply enjoying. The comments are very good. And I'm, genuinely, CKR came across as a business owner first and then as a corporate honcho later, right? So I think that was very important, right? What was very important was the way he came across and the way he communicated. And I think we could take a lesson out of his thinking and the honesty with which he put discipline and personal growth about himself. With that, I think it's a very right time to skip on to the next topic, which is all about scaling, right? Scaling in our mind is always about IPOs and the romance of, actually getting there on an NSE. So we have a very distinguished guest with us today. We have Mr. Himanshu, who is going to join us on the session. Thank you very much, Himanshu, for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi there. Great. So, I'm going to take a couple minutes of your time to make an introduction, right? Because I just wanted to introduce you to the audience and then we'll kind of take it forward from there. So firstly, it's definitely an honor to be here. From the Himanshu comes from the SME Emerge platform, like NSE likes to call it. It is an exclusive initiative, which is for SMEs listing. And, we have been engaged with NSE at different times. And Himanshu, I don't know if you know, but NSE was also our sponsor for the very first physical conference. And, we had a speaker from there. And since then, the worldview has dramatically changed. So what was a concept that time? I think we're going to talk about the practice of it, because in the last 5 years, SMEs have changed significantly. And NSE's investment in the platform has also changed significantly. And so very, very, very excited to hear you, because most of us have very ambitious targets. And recently, one of our members, as you know, listed as well, and he's going to follow you and talk about it. So Himanshu, he has more than 13 years of work experience in the financial services. He has very diverse experience in the financial services. And prior to NSE, he has very relevant experiences in credit rating as well as business banking, right? In his current role, he's predominantly involved in creating awareness for the NSE Emerge platform. And that's exactly why he's kind enough to spend time with us today and talk about the platform. Now, while this whole session is going to be organized in two parts, there is going to be the first part where Himanshu is going to be communicating his thoughts about NSE and a lot of things that we have in mind. Following that, we will have a Q&A session. So we'll probably split the time equally, 15 minutes of presentation, maybe Himanshu, and then we'll kind of have a Q&A session. And for the Q&A session, I'm going to invite our own TAB business owner from Chennai, Ramesh, to join me. Right? Ramesh has significant experience in wealth management, along with his partners, Madhavan and Suren. He has helped many business owners even prior to TAB manage their investment goals. I think you know Ramesh pretty well. We were together. And he has been engaged with NSE on our behalf for a while. So I'm going to invite him also onto the panel so that between the two of us, we can kind of pick your brains and get some answers. But first, I'm going to leave the screen over to you. Feel free to please communicate your thoughts on the platform and give us some interesting information.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Krishnan. And thanks for inviting us, for being the part of this session. I could even attend briefly, I could attend the previous session, and the way he covered, it was really interesting. So, Krishnanji, as you rightly told, my presentation I have bifurcated in two parts. One is will more focus on what is this platform all about. Okay, so first is what is this platform? Second one, why this platform is required. Okay, And then, as you rightly told, probably after 15 minutes, I'll just hardly take 15 minutes, and then we will more deep down into the discussion. Okay, so I hope I'm audible, right?
Perfect, clear and audible. I'm just going to go on mute and let you take the stage.
Thank you. So, yeah, so firstly, to talk about this SME platform, so we will see there are lots of initiatives which is taken by different bodies, government, private organization to make sure the necessary support which is required for small and medium enterprises, they should get it. So likewise, our regulatory body, which is SEBI, Security and Exchange Board of India, they were in talks with Ministry of Small Scale Industries, and then along with under the guidance of ministry, somewhere way back in 2012, SEBI, they gave us a mandate to launch a separate platform for SME companies. Okay, so that is where in a year 2012, NSE, we came up with a platform which is known as NSE Emerge. So what is NSE Emerge? Under NSE itself, now we are having two platforms. One, what you are seeing, where companies like Tata, Wipro, L&T, Infosys and all, they are listed. Likewise, we are having separate platform which is catering to small and medium enterprises. So as I've told you, firstly, let me tell you what is this small and medium enterprises, what is this SME platform, and why. Then we will cover about why somebody should get listed. So some basics about this platform is, basically, as I've told you, this platform came way back in 2012. It's a separate segment in NSE, as I've told you. Now, the one of the good feature about this platform is the trading terminal remains same. Okay. And when we are talking about, let's say, major intermediary, which is, let's say, trading member, merchant banker, they are also same. So when I'm saying trading terminal same, what do I mean? So there is no bifurcation when it's about the trading of shares. Okay. Why it is important for SME companies, or what is the value addition SME companies are getting if trading terminal is same, that we will cover. So on a same page, let's say if I will, any one of the member, when they are opening the, or any one of the investor who are willing to invest, if they are opening the terminal, they can, on the same page, they can see SME companies also and main board companies also. So let's say tomorrow your company is into, let's say, IT. So your company shares will be traded with all the, it will be getting traded with all the major giants, let's say Wipro, Infosys, TCS and all. So this is about the platform. Talking about so far, how's the platform doing? Currently, we are having close to 417 companies as on day before yesterday, which are already listed with us, with a total fundraising of approximate 8,500 CR. When we are looking at the total market capitalization, that is around more than 1 lakh crore. And yeah, now the next point is pretty interesting. So let's say, sir, if you are already aware about SME listing as a concept, okay, so then it may not be a surprising fact. Let's say if somebody will talk about, IPO size of 20, 30 CR and all. But let's say if you are not at all aware about SME listing as a concept, and somebody is talking about IPO, okay, so the first thing which will generally come in our mind, okay, IPO is something which is required when I am looking for a fund, when I am having a requirement of, let's say, anything more than 200 CR, maybe, generally you would have seen at main board, IPO sizes, around more than 100 CR, 500, 1000 CR, 5,000, 10,000 and all. So that's the picture which will come in our mind. Okay, IPO size, if I am looking forward for a fundraising of more than 200, 300 only, then IPO can be an option. But here, happy to share at SME platform, the average issue size, if you will see, that is around 19 to 20 CR. Even we have seen companies raising as low as 4 CR, 5 CR also. So the IPO, there are companies who came up with the IPO of 4, 5 CR as well. And there is no upper cap. You may say, okay, my company is pretty, I'm a mid-corporate company, my company is having potential. Does it mean that I can only raise certain limited amount of money at SME platform? Not at all. Even we are having companies who have raised more than 100 CR at SME platform itself. And another interesting feature of this platform is, it is more like a baby step towards main board. So once you are listed at SME platform, a subject of completing 3 years at SME platform, we will give you option to migrate from SME to the main board. That time also it is not compulsory. Okay, so it is just like we will just open the doors for you. So let's say you are a company which is looking forward to migrate from SME to the main board as per your strategic planning. So after 3 years, you are free to move whensoever you are willing to. I have seen companies who have raised, who have moved from SME to the main board even immediately as soon as they got eligible. And even I have seen companies who took almost close to 10-11 years to migrate. Okay, so it's not a compulsory push. It is totally up to the company. Whensoever they are willing to migrate, they can. Yeah, so this is one is basic facts. So when we are talking about SMEs, small and medium enterprises, so when it's about the IPO, we don't how we categorize companies. So we are not looking on your official equipments or investment in your plant and machinery. Generally, when we are looking at MSME guideline, so they are micro, small, medium enterprises. The category is being done when on the basis of the turnover or investment in your, let's say, plant and machinery or official equipment, depending on your nature of activity. But for us, it is pretty simple. Regardless of your nature of activity, if there is a company which is having an existence of more than 3 years, a company which is having a more than 3 years operational history with 2 years positive cash accruals and positive net worth, then those companies are coming under SME. Very simple. Okay. So a company which is having a track record of 3 years with 2 years positive cash accruals and positive net worth, they are coming under SME. Now, on top of that, if it is a private limited company, okay, or let's say a limited but not listed company, so as per SEBI, there is a further guideline where we will be checking their post-issue paid-up capital. Okay, post-issue paid-up capital on the face value. Your reserves can be anything. So your post-issue paid-up capital on face value, that should not exceed 25 CR. It can be anything. Okay, even if it is 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, there is no problem. But that should not exceed 25 CR. Because as per guideline, if it is exceeding 25 CR, you can only go to the main board. So any company, you are in trading business, you are in manufacturing, you are in IT, you are in hospitality, regardless of your nature of activity, if you are fulfilling these criteria, if your company is coming under these eligibility criteria, in principle, your company is good to go for SME listings. Okay, so just to touch base a couple of important things. So see, when we are talking about SME, so the question comes up, what is the major difference between SME and main board? When we are talking about SME, so what is this SME? And what is the difference between SME platform and the main board platform where we are seeing, let's say, Infosys, Tata, they are listed. So at SME platform, there are certain changes pertaining to the pre and post listing criteria. Okay, understanding the limitations of SME companies, these changes are being done. So one of the basic requirement is any company which is looking forward for listing, they will have to dilute 25% stake. So let's say in my company, there are 2 promoters. So out of that 2 promoters, I'll be holding, let's say 100% shares. So when I'm getting listed, I will have to dilute 25% stake, which will go to the public. Okay. Now for that 25% stake, I need to have a minimum 50 LOTs. Okay. So these are the applications. Okay. So 50 LOTs has to be there. So now, so which means when I'm closing my IPO, there are minimum, there should be 50 LOTs to whom shares are being allocated. Okay. So there's no upper cap. Now, when we are comparing this with main board, so main board also, the dilution, minimum dilution is 25% only, but the criteria says their company need to have a minimum of 1000 LOTs. But here, one of the differences, it is 1000 LOTs are not required at the time of SME listing. It is only 50. And then there is something known as DRHP, draft red herring prospectus. So DRHP is more like a entire Bible of your organization, which will be having all the positive, negative, all the things pertaining to the company. So for DRHP at main board, stock exchange and SEBI, both the organization, they will have to provide you approval. You need to take approval from both of them. But at SME platform, there is only exchange observation. So SEBI has told that there is no SEBI approval or observation required for SME listings from SEBI side. So you will have to submit your DRHP will be submitted to exchange. We will check, we will approve. The time when we are approving, you can go ahead, which is saving your time as well. Okay, now one important thing is, let's say you may say, okay, maybe tomorrow, let's say maybe a joint venture of Tata or some organization which is a subsidiary of Tata or Infosys or any one of the bigger name. Let's say when they are coming for IPO, so there are lots of people who will be interested to invest. They'll be knowing about the brand. But what if tomorrow a company like Himanshu Limited, which is, let's say, a known entity into certain circle, if Himanshu Limited is coming for listing, what if after doing any all the activities, when I'm opening my IPO, there is nobody or the required amount of subscription is not there for my company. Okay, so at that point of time, there are chances that my entire efforts will be on toss. So to address that, SEBI has told at SME platform, there's 100% underwriting. So 100% underwriting is compulsory, which means if you are coming with IPO, it's a responsibility of your merchant banker to 100% underwrite your share. So you need not to be worried. There's no question of IPO getting failed. Okay, it's a responsibility of the merchant banker to make sure your IPO has to be your entire IPO has to be fully subscribed. Okay, so but this factor is this particular clause is not there at main board. Now these are certain major things. Now post that you might be knowing, once companies are getting listed at main board, all the main board listed companies, they are supposed to do quarterly submission. Okay, but at SME platform, one of the good feature is quarterly submission is not required. It is half yearly. Okay, and that too, you don't have to go and publish your results in newspapers and all. You will have to share your details at your website, keeping exchange in loop. Okay, so already I have spoken about the migration policy, where once you are listed after a period of 3 years, you are having a option to migrate from SME to the main board. Now, at SME platform, basically, regulatory bodies, they want a informed investor to come and participate. That's the reason there is a lot size. So at SME platform, when we are talking about IPO, the minimum lot size is 1 lakh. And once IPO is closed, once the companies are getting listed in secondary market, post that also the lot size in secondary market will remain same. It will be 1 lakh or more. Okay. So unlike in main board, let's say there is any company, you can even buy 1 share. Okay, but here, if in secondary market, the lot size will be either 1 lakh or multiple of that. So this is the basic structure. Now quickly, I'll just touch base what is the benefit or why somebody should get listed, what you can expect when you are getting listed at SME platform. So see, when we are talking about SMEs, the major 3 challenges, I mean, although you can share your opinion, so the major 3 challenges what companies are facing is, one is obviously the funds. Okay, so let's say if I am having I'm a businessman or technocrat, I am starting any business. So one thing to get the necessary resources is the fund for me. Now, second challenge which will come is about the caliber employees. Okay, so let's say if I am having good idea, if I am having a required amount of fund, okay, but on top of that, but then I need a good caliber employee who will work along with me to design the my idea or work on my idea, so that I can get the necessary product which I'm trying to sell into the market. Now the third challenge comes, it's about the visibility. Let's say product is there, good employees are there, funds are there, but how to reach to the potential customers. So these 3 things, funding, caliber employees, and visibility, these 3 things are being addressed through this platform. So what happened when your company is getting listed? As I have already told you, when you are raising fund through IPO, so in your organization, there are lots of investors who are basically on the post. Once your IPO is open, they are having opportunity, who are having, let's say, a trust on you. They are having opportunity to come and invest in your organization. So for you as an organization, it's kind of a free float of money. Now, post that, if you are, let's say, dealing with MNCs in India, or let's say if you are dealing in global market, you would have seen or you would have heard about third-party verification. Let's say if you are talking to a company, which is your potential company in overseas market, and when you are when you are approaching them for business, so these companies, when they are looking at you, they are sometime with your permission or without your permission, they are doing a third-party verification to check whether companies are genuine or not. So that is where the time when you are saying, hey, I'm a listed company, so the entire perception about your organization is getting changed. You are getting an upper edge in compared to your competitors. So if you are a listed company, which means you are following certain guidelines. Okay, so what happen if you, whether it is a SME company or whether it's a main board listed company, you just open stock exchange website, you just open NSE website, you put the name of the company, you will be getting a certain basic details. So that gives a upper edge to your company. Okay, it's a good credibility tool, which means after listing, your company is being perceived as a transparent company. Your company is being looked at as a company which is following certain guidelines, following certain ecosystems, and it's a good way of getting a appropriate valuation. Okay, so if your company is having a potential, so this particular platform gives you an advantage to basically encash the potential of your company. Okay, if your company is there, which is having a good idea, which is having a good product. Okay, so let's say even if you are not having lots of tangible property, so then also when somebody is investing in your company, they are not looking at the tangible property of your company. They are basically looking at the business value. Okay, you would have heard there are lots of companies who are nowadays giving e-shops. Okay, so if you are a listed company, you can leverage your shares to attract good talent and retain them. So you can use your shares to attract, let's say, good employees, or if you are having, let's say, some employees who are already there, you can give them a opportunity, or you can give them a e-shops, which is like, let's say, beneficial in a way where these people are also feeling that they are a part of a growth journey of your company. So these are the certain benefits, although there are lots of other things, but due to time constraint, we will not be able to cover in details. Now, as on date, NSE is having collaboration, and we are having MOU with more than close to 13 state governments, out of which there are certain state governments who are even upfrontly, they are giving subsidy if any company is interested in their reason for IPO. And these are certain numbers which you can see the growth of this platform. I'm happy to share, if you'll see in last close to 2 years, the maximum number of companies, okay, in the history of SME platform, the maximum number of companies came on board. For NSE itself, as on date, in this current financial year, already there are more than 100 companies which got listed. Okay, so for any company, what is the right time for getting listed? One is when your company, you think that you are having a visibility for your business, okay, in terms of the growth. Second one, market condition. If market conditions are positive, today we are seeing the market condition is positive, investors are looking forward to invest. Okay, they are open to invest. So it's all about whether your company is ready for it or not. Okay, so in that way, currently we are seeing from last post-COVID market is picking up. So many companies are coming, getting listed. Precisely in South India, we have seen so many new companies who came on board. So yeah, so here you can see there are different companies from different sectors which got listed. Even you would have heard about Nifty 50. Likewise, we are having separate index which is known as Nifty SME Emerge. So this is the index which is tracking the growth of SME companies. Okay, you can check, this data is pretty much available in Google, or you can refer NSE website. With that, Rameshji, we can probably sum it up. you can we can directly take questions if there is any.
Thank you, Himanshu. Thank you for the detailed presentation. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I have some few questions from our esteemed members. Okay.
Mhm.
So I'd like to raise voice on behalf of our members. Okay, right. So what is a downside risk because of diluting the shares, Himanshu?
Sir, very frankly, there is no downside risk. The only thing is, before listing, your company is limited within a circle. Let's say 2 people or 3 people. 3 people. When there are new additional investors who are coming in, when they are trusting to you, okay, it's more like you should be more focused on the growth of your company. Okay. Otherwise, there is no downside risk. It is more like there are certain additional compliance. So today, okay, I'm just quickly sharing one my experience while interacting with some of the companies. These companies, they are thinking, okay, after listing, one of the hurdle is I will have to disclose things. My information will go in public. Okay, so you might be agree on this point. Today, there is no information which is hidden. I mean, even if it is a proprietorship company, it might take some time. But if it is a private limited company, hardly it will take 5 minutes for me to get entire balance sheet. Okay, so there is no information which is hidden. It is more like how to use or showcase your growth to get additional support from people who are trusting you. So there is no downside, as I've told, but yes, post listing, there are certain additional compliances they will have to follow. So for example, they are not supposed to do the quarterly submission, but yes, half yearly submission is required. Okay, they don't have to publish their results, but yes, displaying information at their website, it is required. And it is not like they will have to, if they are getting into the some transaction or deal, or they will have to share some hidden information. These are some information which is publicly available. Okay, which they are supposed to disclose.
Got it. Yeah. And I will be very glad to know that our members are very strong in this aspect.
That's good, sir. That's good.
During the board meeting monthly, the financial performance of each of the members are shared, and the other members over there, they act as an executive director and ask investor type questions so that they improve on their financial performance month on month, every month.
That's good.
Okay. I'll move into the next one. So in addition to raising capital, you explained some of the benefits. Okay. So among the companies which are listed, say more than 400, what they are viewing as the most important benefit for after listing?
Sir, as I've told, one of the major benefit is, let's say there is a ABC company. Okay, company is having potential. Okay, when they are typically the journey is like, let's say the time when they are starting their journey, they will be putting some money from their own pocket. Then they are approaching bank. Now, after certain period of time, you cannot keep on approaching your bank, because see, after certain period of time, banks, they are having a requirement of mortgage, and even that apart from that, there is something known as debt equity ratio. You are supposed to maintain that. Okay, so then if there is a company which is growing, it's an additional source of funding. I'm not saying that you can get away from banking support. It is more like in your growth journey, your equity and debt, both things will support you. Okay, so it is if your company is having good story to tell, it's a efficient way of fundraising. My company is having potential. There are people who are coming upfront and investing in my company. Now, one thing which I would like to highlight here, there are lots of companies who are also being approached by lots of investors. Okay, investors in the terms, PEVC, private equity venture capital. So we will have to understand here there is a difference. We are not talking about private equity or venture capital, which means even if somebody is coming in, they will not be dictating terms and conditions in your organization. Okay, so they are just coming as they have trusted on your organization, and then their rights are similar. Let's say today or tomorrow you have invested in Wipro. Whatsoever rights you are having, similar rights they are going to have. So one benefit is that. Second one is, sir, as I've told, the trading of the shares is being done at the same terminal. and these terminals are being tracked for by more than a lakh of investors. Okay, more than lakh terminals we are having, and I mean, now we are seeing a data where close to 5% of the total population they are trading. Okay, so you see the visibility what you are getting. And today when we are saying, okay, ABC person or A person is richest person in the world or richest person in the Asia, they are not richest because of their holding in their savings or bank account. They are richest because of the net worth valuation they have created. This is the only platform which will help company to create a value for them, for their shareholders. So it's a mutual benefit for promoters, for their shareholders, for company. So these are the, probably I'll highlight one or two major benefits apart from the others.
Wow. Okay. So can raised capital can be used for working capital or clearing debt, Himanshu?
Anything, sir. As long as you are using this fund from your respective company. Let's say if I'm the IPO is being done for Himanshu Private Limited,
Okay.
or let's say post listing Himanshu Limited. So what the fund I'm raising, I can use it for any purpose. Clearing off your debt, acquiring new, doing any kind of a JV, taking over any company, plant, machinery, anything. You should not use this fund for another company in very simple word. Okay, there is something known as object of issue. You will have to mention there.
Okay.
Very interesting. Actually, Himanshu, for a minute, you've been taking a lot from the business owner's perspective. For a minute, I'm going to twist it around. And let me ask you, what are the top two or three expectations that investors on your platform have from business owners? Because that's the mirror that we as all our members would like to know so that they can prepare better for it. So what do investors look for in business owners who want to invest?
So one can be a clarity of thoughts. So if I'm running a company, or let's say if I am looking forward for investing in any company, okay, so I will prefer my particular the promoters of those companies should have a visibility. Okay, 2 years or 3 years down the line, how they are willing to grow their company. If I am investing, let's say 100 rupees in my company, how they are going to use my company, this 100 rupees for their organization. Because if they are having visibility in terms of the growth of the company, that is where my money is, justified. Investing my amount of money is justified, or my time. So that is one expectation, what we have seen. Second one is, it is always good if proactively companies are disclosing information. Let's say from exchange point of view, it may not be required. Let's say you have taken over some company, or you have got some tender. It may not be required for you to disclose, but if you are disclosing, it's a good news. It's a good news for your investors. So a transparency is one thing, and second one is particular. I mean, it's more like a clarity of thoughts. So these two things are there. Investors are there. We have seen even certain set of investors who keep on, they are investing in different growth levels for the same organization.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Back to you, Ramesh. Go ahead.
Yeah. So see, our customers with good intention, they are making the growth plan. What if the growth plan does not given expected results?
Absolutely fine, sir. Just look at the from the angle where, let's say I have invested in Wipro. Wipro is not doing good. What will I do? I have an option to either sell those shares. I can take my money, invest somewhere else, or else if I am having a trust, okay, I will be invested in that company for a longer tenure. Okay, they have not done well because of some reasons, but they cannot catch you. Okay, so it's all about individual call. So there is no guarantee given here. Okay, you invest in my company, it's not a debt instrument, it's an equity.
Okay, got it. Suppose when I say yes now, how long it takes place from the moment I say yes to the listing?
Sir, see, what we have seen, on an average, companies are taking close to 3 to 4 months to complete their IPO process. subject of availability of documents. Let's say your team is equipped enough with all the basic documents. Okay, minor here and there is fine. Then we have seen even after signing the mandate within a span of close to 4 months, merchant bankers are closing their entire IPO or companies are getting listed.
Great. Okay.
Thank you.
In fact, Rameshji, one thing I would like to highlight here,
Yeah.
okay, with your permission,
Please.
what we suggest to organizations, okay, see, there are lots of questions which will come in their mind tomorrow, even if they are thinking, okay, if I'm going or thinking about IPO, what will be my valuation? Okay, how much fund I can raise? Whether I'm equipped, okay, Himanshu came, he told about some 3 years and all, but really am I ready for IPO? And if not, which all things I should work on before thinking about IPO, how to proceed in the journey. It might take 1 year or 2 years. So the good thing about this platform is there is no cost of testing the waters.
Okay.
So today, when company is talking to a stock exchange, in best of our capacity, we are guiding them, okay, what is basic requirement. We don't mind connecting them. We are happy to connect them with lots of, with intermediaries. Although they don't need NSC, you can directly Google and check our SEBI approved merchant banker. Having said that, we will connect you with multiple merchant bankers, talk to them, understand their opinion. Post that, if you are thinking, okay, there are certain factors on which I need to work, you work on that, then again approach us. And if you think, okay, our company is good to go, proceed. The time you are signing a document, then only commercials will come in picture. Till that time, you don't need to pay even a single rupee to anyone. NSE, anyway, companies are not supposed to pay anything, not even to merchant banker.
Great.
Got it too much. Yeah.
Thank you. I think that was great. I think, Himanshu, quite honestly, I think it looked like all of us will want to list tomorrow. I think I must tell you no, I'm serious about it. I've heard a lot of talks on these issues, especially when there are technical jargons and stuff. I must compliment you on the ease with which you came across, right? End of the day, I think the biggest thing I have experienced in talking to hundreds and normal owners, there is a kind of a fear of unknown, if you will, and the belief that all these are much beyond for us, especially with SME owners. Most of them think this is for the big fishes. I think what you managed to communicate is the ease with which one can do, whether one needs to do it or not. In fact, it's my job to kind of, as a coach facilitator, to balance it, right? Everything is not for everybody. All of us like different things. It does not mean that equity is better than debt and debt is not equity, and you've been kind enough to balance it out. So while each of us take a call, I think you've made the process very easy. So I just wanted to thank you. There are a couple of questions for which we did not have time. So what I'm going to do is request through Ramesh that we will kind of forward that to you. And
Sure.
If you have some questions, or maybe we are going to have some events down the line, we might request you to kind of participate. It's just that we have the next speakers on call, and just for a matter of protocol, I just want to take it forward.
Thank you.
So Himanshu, thank you very much. Really appreciate it and enjoyed the ease and with which you went in.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I hope I took some 5 minutes more. I thought I'll just wind up in 15 minutes, but it's too much to talk.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks all.
You so much. Thank you so much, Himanshu. Thank you,
sir. Thank you.
Great. Good session, good information, keeping us on track. And, this is one of those rare sessions where, kind of we have almost like the action to follow the thinking, if you will. It's almost kind. So we had a session from NSE, and we're going to have one person who's going to share what it was to actually get listed. So before I even talk about the speaker, I want to say that that person is our member. That makes it very affable, that makes it very relatable, that makes it very close. So I want to, first of all, on behalf of all of us, congratulate Mr. V. Rajmohan for what he did. And you know what, these are things that when it happens in front of our eyes, we get a lot more confidence, because now we are speaking, putting a face to a name, right? Usually we read stories, now we're talking to a person who did it. So genuinely, thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. It is my pleasure. I'm going to do a formal introduction in a second. But I want to say something here is that I distinctly remember the time that Suren and I met him for the first time when he and his partner were kind of considering joining TAB. So I want to emphasize that he already had ambition back then, right? So I distinctly remember him emphasizing the fact that he wants to scale, emphasizing the fact that he's considering capital. He was very intense in the way that he spoke about his ambition, the growth plan, the clarity that the market is already there, but that he needs to take it forward. So that clarity is what helped, and I think that that's very, very credible in the way one needs to go. So it is my pleasure to give you a formal introduction here. So he has over 30 years of professional experience in techno-commercial domain, right? And it's pretty wide, right? Spans construction, he's in designing, extraction, erection and testing of machinery. He's been an entrepreneur for a long period of time with Supreme, right? And it's since 2001, and he's in the transformer sector. So one must say that he happens to be in the right place at the right time. Because power is something that is exceedingly important. India is needing more and more of those. We have a couple more transformer companies in our membership, and it's very important that he's specializing in a particular form of power and distribution transformation. And he was instrumental with his partner to get recently listed in the platform. So it's our pleasure, Mr. V. Rajmohan, for you to have joined us. And Rajmohan, to join me, I'm also inviting Suren, who is your board facilitator. So Suren has been with us. He's our TAB business owner and coach facilitator from Chennai. And Suren brings in tremendous amount of corporate experience in leadership positions and has delivered value to a lot of global operations. So he's been kind of involved in the TAB board. And so I thought maybe it's just appropriate that Suren actually has this chat with you and kind of trigger it off, right? So over to you, Suren, and we look forward to hearing from the two of you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ramas. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Rajmohan, for joining us. So on behalf of the TAB community, congratulations on your successful listing. So we definitely want to hear from the horse's mouth directly. So we have a few questions that we have collected from the board members as well as the general TAB community. So let me pose these questions, and we'd like to hear from you. First and the foremost thing.
Good afternoon and welcome you all. Thank you very much for inviting me to this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to
sir.
Ramas sir also. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. So my first question would be, what triggered you to think about IPO in the first place? And what alternatives did you consider before even getting into the IPO journey?
Yes, actually, we were in the field for more than 3 years. Basically, we were main supplier to the utilities. I mean, basically for government sectors. So we were working hard for more than 30 to 25, 30 years. We were doing good business. We are doing good business, and business is growing. And it grown from 1 crore to now we have crossed 100 crores. But past 20 years, we are not able to. Business is there. We are doing business, but we are not to see the profit. So since there is a delay in getting payments from the government side, we were thinking this actually this been filled by the bank debts. So the majority of our margin been eaten away by the financial institutions. So we were continuously thinking about how to say we know this business, so we need to do the business. So continuously we were thinking how to come out of this. So this is the spark. And one more spark is given by the TAB. Been introduced me to the successful IPO successful companies, and some consultants also they introduced. And before 5 years before itself, we were start thinking about this, and this start ignited there.
You took it as a wildfire, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And so can you share some more insights about your experience going through this journey? I know the spark started in the last APR, but after that you had to go through this journey. Can you share some insights on?
Yes, yes. Earlier we were having a small IPO that we are going for IPO. Then somebody will question us, and new investors will come inside, and how to tackle them. These are basically we were very conservative mind. So that type of little thinking was there, ethos was there. So gradually it has been deteriorated, and we were working on it. See, we have a very good consultant and very good team members. It's like this getting into IPO is not just submitting a paper. It's like taking a film. So many departments are there, lighting, direction, like that. Here we have so many intermediaries. We have to select, and luckily I got a very good intermediate place. So see, not only by our own business and our own turnover, our own, because of this additional support has been rendered by our consultants. And
Great, sir.
last 7 months, they were continuously asking so many documents, which were known and unknown documents also they asked. Now we are equipped ourselves to maintain that. And instead of they were asking some detailed thing, which why these things are these things why we need to disclose, why whether we need to go for this or not. See, then we make up our mind, and we were very open, and now it's very clear.
Great, sir. So, given the learning that you've gone through this experience, what would be your advice to fellow entrepreneurs in terms of how they can prepare themselves to go through this journey, sir?
We should be very transparent. First thing, we should be very transparent, and we should disclose whatever the profit we are earning. Whatever the profit, we should disclose it very openly. Whatever the profit we are earning, we need to disclose that. That is the first thing. So yes, see, when the company should, they are just when we are meeting so many investors, they were asking how many years, the past, how many years the company existence. They are asking for the company existence, and they were asking for the vision. Next 3 years, 5 years, what will be your figures? That is top line, sales figures, and as well as the bottom line. This is the investor side they were asking. And for fellow entrepreneurs, for a good business, if you have a very good opportunity on business, definitely I insist my fellow entrepreneurs to go for IPO.
So a quick question I wanted to check with you. It's something I come across, right? The question is always is what other alternatives did you consider? Because equity has a certain cost associated with it, right? So what other alternatives did you consider to generating funds before you chose to go to IPO, and why did you prefer that?
Yes. Before, there is no other alternate. We had to go to the. We were setting limits for discounting and other things, bill discounting, and raising the CC limits. These are the things. There, the minimum cost is around 11 to 9%. This is the major portion which is eating away our profit, because the cost of funds raised there.
Great.
Here,
So post IPO, how has life been, sir? Apart from raising capital, did you get any other benefit because you've got the visibility now? Now your credibility has been established.
Yes. Now,
how has life been?
Yes. Now our own home manufacturers and same like business people with our scale, they are seeing us in a different way. That is one thing. And the network before listing and after listing is something different, something 10 to 20 times it's bigger. So it's the happiest moment. Absolutely. And now we are more responsible. That also I need to tell you that also we are more responsible and because the huge our subscription, our company is oversubscribed by 262 times. So obviously, the investors, they kept huge trust on us.
Right.
So we are solely responsible to give them good result, and we are working more. Rather, for the past 20 years, what we are working now, we are working 100% more to give good results to the investors. That is our advice I'm giving to the entrepreneurs who are coming for IPO.
I couldn't stop it but intervene, because you use the analogy of cinema and lights, action, and all that. So I want to ask you, let's keep the business aside. How has life changed? Following up on Suren's question, how has life changed for you as an individual and as a family? I mean, as a person, how has life altered for you?
I have more confidence.
Okay.
Now, I see earlier before, we were afraid of taking orders, and whether we'll take this order or whether we'll be able to supply. See, we have the facility, infrastructure, technology, and manpower, everything we have. But when it comes to the funds, whether we'll be able to take this big order. Now we are very confident. We can take any big, any amount of orders we can take. That is the confidence I got after this IPO.
Great, sir. We are so proud of you.
Now we are planning for a bigger factory, which is 10, 15 times bigger than the existing facility. Now we are planning for that. Otherwise, we would have gone for bank debt, and continuously we have to run behind that interest and monthly EMI. These things we can avoid, and we can mainly focus on the business. Yes, sir.
Great, sir. I think in the interest of time, should we look at some of the questions from the members? Do you have any questions?
While they come up with it, if there are any questions, I'm sure that we can access it, and we will look forward to connecting with you. We are a little bit more as well. So, is there any personal story or any? Because I'm still thinking, because you've talked about the business. I'm still curious. Is there any personal story, any personal experience that you remember in this journey that you want to share with us?
Actually, we started.
Any funny moment, anything interesting, any kind of story that you can share.
Our journey started in 90. Actually, we started, myself and Pradeep started this company. Not this company. Earlier, it was run by some other management. We took over the company in the year, and gradually with a very small investment, and we were start doing smaller type transformers. 25 kVA, 100 kVA, and in 2005 we started. The partnership firm has been converted as a private limited company. Then we were able to get more money from bank, financial institutions, and we started doing slightly bigger transformers. And in 2010 we were started doing power transformers. So at that time also we were doing around 20-25 crores in 2010, and in 23 we acquired 100 crores, and we were able to do 25 MVA transformer, and we have developed that infrastructure for testing and manufacturing and design. All these things we were developed ourselves. So that was a beautiful and beautiful journey we undergone, and now it is a very happy moment to share this thing.
Great, sir. Mr. Ramas, is there anything that you would like to share about this, that you would like to advise to our members regarding how they have to be prepared to launch their own IPO journey? Is there anything that you would like to share, sir?
Yeah, thank you. I think just to provide a balance and perspective, from where we've seen, I think I just want to take off from what he said, because there's a lot of insights in the way the conversation went, right? And I think the predominant thought, in my opinion, is about looking at debt and equity. I think the only addition I want to give to this whole process is that people think equity is cheap, and that it isn't. I think all of us business entrepreneurs know the value of equity because it's blood. End of the day, it's our organization, right? So if somebody like him who's seeing the value of growth, and you're understanding that equity, they are coming to you like the business partners, and they are coming to you with your shared vision of growth, and you want to actually multiply, quadruple it, and be accountable to their equity just as much as your equity, right? Otherwise, you should not be getting in, because I have seen a lot of SME entrepreneurs who get into the IPO for the romance of it, and I'm using this word not jovially. I'm using this word seriously. Not only in India, I've seen it world over as well. People get into IPO sometimes for the ego part of it. They get into it because they think it's a nice thing to have. They think it is cheap money compared to, and they've misused the funds one way or the other. But I'm telling you, don't get away with it, simply because they are investors. And especially in the SME platform, because of the presentation that we saw earlier, it is not that there is some remote corner, somebody sitting there who's invested 500 rupees in your business. Not so. These are known investors, individuals who have invested a big amount of money, who are valuable to you. And so you must treat them like you treat your partners. And then I think you're really going to scale. So I'm now correlating all the three sessions, right? I'm correlating the sessions from CKR, going to correlation with Himanshu, and now coming. I think it starts from that personal transformation. So I'm telling this to all our members. Don't come from the finance side of it. That is my request. Come from your personal accountability, come to your business vision, come to your business plan, and then look at money and say, okay, this is the money I need to fund growth, which is important for my vision, which is important for me as an individual. Where do I get the money, and what is the best alternative? I think that is the only advice I want to give to people. Don't take it from a financial point of view. Come downward, right from where you want to be. Suren, I hope that helps. That's just I wanted to balance.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
After getting into the IPO, we are more responsible. And we are more answerable to a number of questions. Earlier, very few people only we need answer. And after IPO, we are bound to answerable to so many investors, which is correct also. See, then only we will be working hard and smart to give them a good result.
So in a way, he's answered the question from our audience, right? Is there any interference or control or investors? I think the word is not interference or control. I think the key word is what all of us at TAB know: accountability. To that extent, I think all of us are accountable, whether we know it or not, but we are not going into the process of accountability. I think that's what we need to learn. It's less of interference, more of accountability. Thank you. Suren, do you have any backup questions for him at this juncture? He's our member, so we know where to reach him, right? That's a good part of the story. But I think having a person on stage, really, really matters. Do you have any parting comments for all of us?
Any last closing remarks, sir, from your side?
Yeah. Said everything, I think.
He's as unassuming as he was before the IPO. That's the good part of the story. Please remain that way. Please remain that way, and God bless. God bless you and your team.
Thank you so much for joining us, sir. And we are really proud of your accomplishments. So thank you once again for joining us and sharing your insights. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Over to you, Ramas.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I think it's therefore appropriate, as we kind of move on in the conference, right, is to put our honorable mention to our TBO partners, right, because they are the ones who kind of help our members, get them accountable, get them ready for all their larger ambitions and goals. We're very proud for all of our members. They are our peer owners. It's Madhavan, Ramesh, Suren, Bhavesh. And like I said earlier, we welcome Soma at Chennai, and we also welcome Srini at Mumbai. All of us together are available in our journey to do what we need to do, right? So I'm going to take a quick 5 minutes before I kind of wrap up this section and pass it over to Ravi for the fun part of the award ceremony is I know there are a lot of guests in the audience, and so I'm going to take 5 minutes to quickly kind of summarize what we do here at TAB. Right? TAB is a global peer-to-peer forum. I want to underline the word peer-to-peer. We are all business owners. And the whole idea is that when business owners come to each other, and we've just seen the world of accountability that we saw, most of us business owners, we realize, are limited by our own aspiration and ability to grow with processes and methods, right? So TAB is not a consulting organization. There is no magic wand that is going to help us transform. We know what we need to do. But if there's a trustworthy environment that you can come together, bring towards your issues, and I'm sure all of us facilitators and board members have stories to share, where we brought in stories and issues which nobody else would have shared anywhere else. And we've got advice where people are prepared to share from their failures. We just saw CKR here. Look at the way the entrepreneur is able to admit to what they did. And those kind of stories are not written in books. So what TAB does, it brings in collective wisdom, a lot of accountability for action and real world advice, because there are a lot of tool sets and process. We have lots of tools to run our company, but very often we don't have the accountability and tools to run our own vision. That's what TAB does. And the proof of the pudding is in the growth, right? It is in so many countries with so many thousands of members, but the most proud numbers that we like is the number of years that a member stays with us, right? If you remove the members who have actually sold off their company, the average age, the time that members stay with TAB is about 7 to 7.5 years, with the same board, with the same facilitator, with consistent growth. Because TAB is an invite-only organization, we go through a process. All of us members know that we need to go through a sample board, we need to go through a disc assessment, a goal setting, and then you and the coach talk to each other, and therefore we get in, right? So the whole process has a certain merit in the way it goes, and therefore we are very proud of what we bring to the table. Here are a few statements that we get, right? So I'm going to let the screen do the talking, because there are some feedback we get, especially in the TAB achievement people have said, where members have continuously attributed to what TAB has brought into their life, right? Whether it be instrumental in emphasizing the adaptability in the way the TAB allows us to change our aspirations and bring to the people on board. Here is a member who is, the first one, as I said, the name is not here, but I don't think they'll mind. So I'm going to share is a pharma company, which is it's a leader in its category in a large company, in a very professional organization. And then we have, see the industry variety. We have here is a food manufacturing company who's actually manufacturing sweets. And they are a family-owned business, and they got into it with the husband, wife, and the daughter. And we are talking about how to grow with confidence. And they came to TAB after a few experiences, which wasn't very good, because I remember speaking to this person. And since then, they've kind of used the processes and migrated to where they want to be. We understand TAB is for large, small, startup, for different people. And very often the experiences that TAB gives essentially as a clarity to the owner. I think this is emphasized very well in this quote. This person clearly says, ultimately what TAB does is not about new products, new market, but actually brings clarity to where we want to be. Here is another member who's been with us almost since inception, right? And it's very funny because this person is actually a manufacturing person, but he's almost as good a consultant in terms of his own processes. And here the board actually, coerced him into starting his own consulting business. So he's recently started off, and he's actually loves advising. So he started a consulting business as a diversification to his manufacturing business. So that's a great story of how the board pushed him on. And then we see here is another organization which is into retail fabrics, and they are one of the a niche provider of top retail brands, and they bring high-end fabrics, really high-end fabrics, the kind that we don't see in many homes, that they bring to India from the world over. And you see, again, as a family managed business, the way you need to be answerable to the business, and how do you look at the ability to say no to opportunity. So if you see, collate all this, this is not about talking about esoteric ideas to run the business. It is about providing a support system so that the owner has a place to go to, discuss ideas, come back with thoughts, be accountable to himself or herself, right? So while there is a board, there is accountability, there is a coach, there is tools and processes, the final accountability is to the shareholders themselves. So what do we do at TAB? In summary, we help you improve your business and therefore change your life. This statement came through a very global international survey that TAB did last year. And what do we do? And this is the summary. It was very interesting, because I believe business owners and entrepreneurs are the only community in the world where, unless the business improves, their life won't change. That's good, but there's a corollary to it. Just because the business improves doesn't mean our life changes, because growth brings its own challenges. So for us, it is that alignment that matters. It is aligning and designing the business in line with your personal vision. And that's the spot that we help in. So we are a coaching organization, in summary. We bring in like-minded peers so that business owners are coaches themselves in a board, and we give trusted real-world advice for accountability. We have online tools. These are the best in class, as Jason was pointing out. It's recently gone through a change, and absolutely state-of-the-art, which has been certified world over. It is Euro standard certified in terms of confidentiality and the readiness of the tool. It's an online strategic planning and a lot of tools which is required to transform a company, right? And any company, for example, I mean, I've seen so many of our members, when they come to an investor and they talk to an investor presentation or a financial institution, they're able to go to Business Builder's Blueprint and actually show how the last 4 years, their vision changed, how their KPIs have altered. Right? You don't need to speak much, because this is not what any company would be able to talk, right? You can show ERP data, but saying this is how my goals went, this is how my vision went, this is how I created the culture, and more importantly, this is how I've created my KPIs for the next level team members, right? To be able to be accountable to that. And for example, I know in experience in the boards, the board members are able to go back and see each other's growth. Today, if you see the kind of issues that we were talking 3-4 years ago, and the issues we are talking today, and it's available on a tool, you really realize how much we have grown ourselves, right? Apart from that, we have the one-on-one coaching, where the coach and the facilitator talks to every individual and actually drills down into the organization and provides support for where it is required. Because without facilitation, all these meetings would just be a discussion. It is the facilitation that makes the whole thing possible. And finally, again, like Jason said, like all of us have said, India has shown the way in terms of the way we have taken to next level team coaching. StratPro is our single largest success factor today, where because no company can grow, again, what CKR said, without the next level team coming. Again, talking about next level team coaching is a very esoteric subject. Training doesn't help, right? And we all know that, right? So unless we are able to take the owner's vision, bring it down to the next level, and actually we bring accountability there as well, and slowly transform the people, organizations don't change. So if you see, this is the full basket of what it requires for an organization to grow in a sustainable, slow fashion. And that's what TAB does. So we are not looking for quick wins, not at all. We are looking for sustained growth. So all those of you who are guests as well as the members, we are going through sample boards in every location, Mumbai, Chennai, Pondicherry. Every month we have published dates. So there's no point in talking too much about TAB, especially members come back to us and say, hey, what do I tell others about TAB? You do so many things. I think don't say anything. I would request, just tell all your referrers, all your guests to just attend a sample board. Because once they experience what that sample board is, the rest of the answers goes away. All of us know that we don't sell hard. We are a coaching organization. We are not here to just run people and get on board. So the experience is important, because you need to love the coach needs to love you, and you need to love your peers for it to work, because we are in it for the long term. So all the locations, we have a published calendar of monthly sample boards. So the best way is a 2-hour taster board followed by a free one-on-one coaching for an hour with the coach. So this is the package deal. This is our investment in the community. So we would like you to refer your guests to come in, no commitment, attend a 2-hour sample board followed by a one-on-one coaching. Then we'll see, take it ahead. So that's the best way for somebody to experience TAB and also join. So as we move towards the business end of things in terms of the awards, I want to spend just a few seconds on our organizing support. Ajinkya has been our event lead, and like I said, Sutradhar, who has been helping us in all these years. He's our primary coordinator. Everybody in the TAB ecosystem knows him, and he has been instrumental in doing a lot of hard work and converting this into a process, right? And he's ably supported by Swapnil from Mumbai, Priyanka and Lakshmi Narayan from Pondicherry, Chennai. Priyanka and Lakshmi Narayan have also been involved with us for a while. They provide the backend support that is needed for our TBOs out there. And, they pretty much, the TAB team knows all of them. And, it is impossible not to put together this kind of an event without the support and hard work that comes from them. So thank you very much, guys. Be there and be strong. As we take it to the awards section, I wanted to say that this awards has been with us for a while. And when the first idea of awards came to us, one of the biggest issue is how do we give these awards? Because it's very important for us to have the neutrality. It is very important for this award to be taken seriously. And more importantly, we are in it for the long term. So when the awards start coming year after year, there must be a pattern and consistency in the way the awards have been given. It cannot be on somebody's whims and fancies, right? Because we are a growing organization and we need to be able to do that. So right from the beginning, we invested in getting a very strong expert panel with us. They've really worked hard with Ravi and Ajinkya and the team here to develop a process and a method. Today, it's pretty much automated because there are questionnaires that are being given to our owners. There are anonymous surveys that are being done. The whole data has been designed by them, right? And both of these individuals are highly luminous guys. Deepak, by the way, is my coach as well, and I'm, it's an amazing person to work with. Learned a lot from him. So Deepak is the chairman of the board of Dalmia, and he's been on the chairmanship and leadership and CEO and sales head for many organizations with over 40 years. A very affable person, very structured thinker, both globally, and he has been part of the panel. We have Mr. Ullas Deshpande, who's a renowned HR specialist. He's that combination of business HR. He not only understands HR, he understands business. He's been in startup. He's been a mentor to organization in incubation and a professional journey of over 2 decades. And he's an avid mountaineer. I mean, the kind of mountains he climbs. So these two individuals have been responsible to the extent that we at TAB, all of us TPOs and our managing team of TAB is completely out of the equation in terms of looking at how to design these awards. And that's been a big blessing. So usually one of them or the other is there in the conference. This time, both of them were traveling. And so that it's my job to just introduce them and be ever grateful for the fact that they've been with us. With that, I'm going to kind of hand it over back to Ravi. And we are going to get started with the stars. So Ravi, so over to you.
Yes. Here we go.
We still need to see you.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Okay.
I thought let me create a little bit of suspense.
Oh, come off it.
Let the people wait for a little bit more, yeah? Okay. Thank you, Ramas. Let's get on with the best part of the conference, right? The awards. So here we go with our celebrations. In this part of the conference, we recognize those members who have effectively leveraged the TAB processes and the ecosystem and backed it up with demonstrable results. So the process started much earlier. I mean, we started almost 2 months ago, and where with the members filling out their nominations, providing required data, and getting their teams to complete the anonymous employee service. Needless to say, it also involves a lot of follow-ups from the facilitators, but they do get done, and we appreciate the facilitators' accountability to their members' success. So a lot of responses have come from the members. So we had to go through a very robust process to choose the winners. As Ramas was saying, these are established processes now over the last 5 years. And it has been designed by the independent veterans and now time tested over these years. So it's important that we appreciate every member who participated, since they have all excelled, and our best wishes to all of them. What are the categories? So as usual, we'll have board stars. So each of the boards that are running currently we'll go through the board stars for each of the board members, the boards. And then we'll have achievement, a TAB achievement star. We'll have an emerging star. That's a new one. Emerging star. Then we'll have a growth, innovation, harmony, and finally the Strat Pro. I'll explain the significance of each categories as we move along. And so let's get started. We have already published the nominees for each of the awards, and I'm sure they are all eagerly waiting. So best of luck to the nominees, and let's get started then. The first one, we have got these 7 boards running in Mumbai, Chennai, and Pondicherry. So let me first explain quickly how this works. So members for each of the boards vote for the board stars. Each of the board members, they vote among themselves and they say who is the board star for the year. So while voting, the members consider the quality of the sounding board issues brought by the member, effectiveness of suggestions made by the members for others' issues, overall participation in the meetings, and commitment towards the board processes. So these factors are considered by the members, and the members themselves are doing this voting. Based on the number of votes, the nominees are selected, and the winner is selected among them. So let me quickly run through the board stars for this year. We have, there you go, 401, which is Bombay board, is Piyush Shah. 402 is Kamal Sharma. That's again Bombay. 403 is the Chennai board, and that's Rajgopalan. For 405, Chennai, we already met V. Rajmohan, which is facilitated by Surendran. 310, Mumbai, is Viral Parekh of Kaumin Industries. 311 of Puducherry, Venkata Subramanian, SVS Sweets. And finally, 313 Cherry is Rahul Masareka. Hearty congratulations to all these board stars, and well done, guys.
Best of luck. And I think this whole idea that you guys are your favorite ones in your board and that your colleagues think that you are the best must indeed be special. Well done.
Okay, so let's move on to the next award, which is the TAB Achievement Award. Now, what's this TAB Achievement? This award is meant to recognize members who are leveraging the TAB process and tools for ensuring long-term growth. So we had conducted a survey where we had asked members to explain some leadership trait that they learned from the TAB journey, clarity on their business purpose and USP, and an example of an impact that TAB had on their business. So the nominees for this category. And here, what I'm going to do, whenever I take nominees' names, I'm going to read out the nominees' names in alphabetical order. Yeah. So don't confuse between this and the actual award. Yeah. And alphabetical order of the first name, for want of any other reason. So the nominees for this award of TAB Achievement are Kamal Sharma of Adent Analytics, Niket Jain of SAR Apparels, and Princely Samuel of Capstan Building Services. So now let's see who's got the runner-up and first runner-up and second runner. So incidentally, we'll have a winner, the first runner-up and the second runner-up. But of course, we'll say it in the reverse order, yeah? So let's get going. The second runner-up goes to Niket Jain of SAR Apparels. SAR is a Calcutta-based company, by the way, and started the TAB StatPro engagement beginning of last year. And since then, you know, they discussed and implemented several initiatives that will have a significant impact on their long-term growth. And they used this TAB the first 1 year to really clean up and make sure that they are ready for the real growth. So things like, you know, clear planning process, weekly plans they have introduced. They have introduced the ERP implementation, role clarity among the directors. This was another significant issue that they were having, an introduction of their own brand in the market. So all in all, a great start. Niket, well done, and your team, of course. The first runner-up, Princely Samuel of Capstone. Incidentally, Capstone has, Princely Samuel and his company has moved up from the second runner-up to first runner-up. Last year, they were the second runner-up. This is a very interesting, so they have actually promoted themselves in the TAB achievement. Yeah. So congratulations, Princely. Well done. And in his own words, prior to the sessions with TAB, he used to be involved in all the decisions. And now he's involved, and they have involved the key team members to take leadership and manage the day-to-day operations, leaving Princely time to focus on business development and growth. I think this captures the essence of what our objectives are, the TAB's objectives. And that's called, I think, a great implementation by Princely. So good work, Princely. So obviously the winner is Kamal Sharma of Adent. Just a quick one about Kamal. For those of you who don't know him personally, he's one of the members who has imbibed the TAB processes and tools to the T. Very systematic, very structured. And this time, we are proud to note that this year, he prepared the annual operating plan practically on his own and was only reviewed it twice with his facilitator. So the way he picks it up and actually implements was very credible. In his own words, he says, TAB has helped him in long-term goal setting and annual planning, and this has helped us to develop strategies for reaching our goals. So yeah, a good one from Kamal. He is also using the board in a very structured way. As you can see, he was also the board star, right? So here's an example of what he has done from the board. So he was planning to move HR reporting from him to, instead of reporting to him, he was planning to move to another department head. And after talking in the sounding board feedback, he dropped this idea. And he says, now I can imagine the complexities it would have created in the organization. So all in all, I think it gives us immense pride and satisfaction when we see our members benefiting from the TAB processes and tools. So well done, guys. Yeah. Let me see.
Well done. I think this is great, and I think we like this achievement award also because it is not just a matter of self-assessment. It is also a matter of being rewarded along with the work that you did with the coach, and therefore it's an introspection. It's a good feedback for us, and we at TAB love the fact that you're able to do an accountability assessment for yourself and report what you achieved during the year. So well done, guys.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one, which is a new category we introduced this year. This is called TAB Emerging Star, and you see this nice little logo out here, which is the TAB logo, actually showing Emerging Star. Okay. To give you a bit of background on this award, so new members join us at various points in time of the year, right? So the qualification baseline criteria for some of the awards make it challenging for the new entrants to stand out. So it's sometimes halfway the year they've joined, so we are not able to exactly judge whether they can be compared with the other members who have been there since the beginning. So hence, this award recognizes performance from all our new members with the hope that it will spur them into winning in the future in the core categories as well. The nominees are Bhavesh Dhruva of Microaxis, Hemant Khandelwal of Madhav Pipes, and R. Senthilnathan of Rebo Industries. So just to give you a bit of background, Bhavesh all these people have joined recently in the last 6 months or so. Bhavesh and Hemant are doing StatPro engagements, and Senthilnathan is, of course, part of the board. So let's go and see who has got the second runner-up. The second runner-up.
The speed at which, Ravi, you're going to the awards is good. I'm sure somebody is going to come and cop you very soon with the suspense you're building. So good for it. Go for it.
Bhavesh Dhruva is, it's quite amazing the kind of results these guys have done, these three companies. So Bhavesh has achieved 48% growth in top line and 80% growth in profits. So, and the best part is I've seen their management team working closely with Bhavesh to deliver these results. And the way they have developed over the last few months, the kind of ideas they take and implement them, I think it was very commendable. So well done, Bhavesh and team. The first runner-up goes to Senthilnathan of Rebo. Again, some amazing kind of results they have come up with. I mean, I've had to recheck whether this is really true. Top line and profits have more than doubled. And at the same time, you find that their inventory and receivables has reduced. So this is like a double whammy, right? So great stuff, Senthil. I think it's really amazing what you guys have achieved. And finally, we have Hemant from Madhav Pipes. Their leadership team has managed to deliver 85% of their goals planned for this year. For all the goals, it's not only top line goals and all that. There is a set of goals and they have delivered 85% of them. So, and the team has really taken the strategic planning and execution in full earnest. Just they have started a few months ago, but they have really implemented it very well. So great results from these relatively new members. We thought it is important that we recognize these people and wish them very best for the coming years. So great stuff, guys.
Thank you. I think these are good insights, and we are very happy with the fact that we are able to introduce this category so that the baselines, if they are not comparable, it gets into trouble. So here we have an opportunity where we're able to compare apples to apples. So we're very happy. And Hemant, I just wanted to add, because I'm an outsider, I met him incidentally when he reminded me that he had attended a session of mine on people in HR in Ascent in Chennai. And he was one of the very few guys who spoke up at the event because it was a people-centric event. And he had talked about his challenges and the people and the next level. And here I'm seeing his name as a winner. So personally, I'm just very excited because something has been implemented in such a short period of time. Great job. All guys, Bhavesh, Senthilnathan, and Hemant, very proud.
Okay, great. Now we go to the main four categories. So for these, what we're going to do is, as soon as we announce the final winner in each category, we will request the winner to come live on Zoom and share a few thoughts on their award acceptance moment. So hence I request all the nominees to be ready, as the event coordinator will move you onto the live session room when they are ready. Okay, and look forward and the nominees.
While they get ready, I'm going to take a couple minutes to get themselves organized, because it's good. All of them know who the nominations are. But I want to spend a minute or two talking about these awards and why I believe they are very significant, right, in their own categories. Because I think growth is very easily understood, but growth with an intent and a purpose doesn't come easy, and consistent growth doesn't come very often. So growth is not a flash in the pan, right? Growth is something that needs to be planned and structured and deliberated and achieved, because growth very fast can take you down very fast as well. And so in this category, our judges are constantly looking with suspicion or whether the growth is a flash in the pan. So it doesn't come very easy. The second thing is innovation, because all those of you who know me for many years, I always talk about GPS, or growth, profitability, sustainability, or throughput, profitability, and harmony. So when we were thinking about innovation, our first thought was to give an award for profitability. So I want to spend just a minute on this category, because one would think that profitability is very important. But at that time, thanks to our judges, they actually brought a very different set. They said it's not about the profitability, it is about what you do with the profitability that matters. And that was a very interesting take for us. Because the companies that really survive in the long term are the companies which have a different approach to using the profit. Because let's understand, you earn the money. You have so many choices on what to do with the money, right? And it requires a certain amount of thinking to be able to reuse the money in a particular way. And so innovation is substantially a different way of looking at profitability. Just like growth requires a particular way, innovation requires a certain courage to be able to look at it. And that's why the Innovation Award. Moving on to Harmony, I think Harmony, we took a very tough call earlier, because we said, look, we are going to have an anonymous survey, and we are going to get employees to tell us how we are. I know we've all heard of the Great Places to Work and so on and so forth. Today, it's one of the best things to do. I actively encourage all our members, not necessarily to wait for the annual conference. You don't need to. At any point in time, if you believe that you need us to work with you in doing this survey in your employees and get that feedback, anonymous is the underlying word, because we are not going to be sharing who said what. That's not the point. But trends can be understood, feedback can be understood. We have our partner Mitesh, who is very good at analyzing the data from an anonymous perspective, and we are very happy to share results. So I'm encouraging you to say that Harmony Awards is neutral and from the employee perspective, and so it requires a lot of courage. But I'm also actively encouraging all of you to do that, and not just for the awards, but you actually use it as a way, because it's going to become very important. Employees become very important, and if you give them an opportunity to do an anonymous survey. I have at least a couple of my clients who do this on a quarterly basis, where they're able to share what they feel. You can grow. And some members of us have been consistent winners of Harmony. It's important. Last but not the least, Strat Pro, which is again employee team centric. We want to know that our teams are being enabled, our teams are being taken forward. So if you see here from TAB's perspective, I just want to emphasize before I pass it back to Ravi, the key word is consistency. We are looking for consistency of growth. We are looking for consistency of reinvestment of profit and the courage to do something with the money that you have earned. Consistency of looking at people and consistency of enabling them. These are the characteristics for accountability. And accountability, again, is to ourselves and our goals. Therefore, these are very thoughtful categories. And it doesn't matter who won, because the nominees are already winners. Right, just as much as everybody else. So even before Ravi starts announcing the sequence, I want to wish everybody the best. Of course, those who won are special. Ravi, back to you.
Okay, thanks. Although I think you have taken away part of my speech. Okay.
Whether I say anything or not, you're going to say something to me. So it's okay. Don't worry. People.
Right. First, let us take the Growth Award. So this award is all about recognizing growth in top line, growth in net profits, and working capital management. So those are the things that we are considering while talking about growth. And growth is very multifaceted, as all of us know. But there are some decisions that demonstrate the owner's strategic action to drive the growth with their intent, other than leveraging market opportunities. So let's see who are the nominees. The nominees are Rakesh Telavane of Telavane Power, Tangamani Maran of Geno Maran, and Thomas Varghese of Fabrimec. So these are the nominees. Let's see who's the second runner-up. The second runner-up is Thomas Varghese. 25% growth in top line, 140% growth in profits. I think this has been a great year for Fabrimec. And they've also coupled it with substantial reduction in inventories and receivable as well. So great working capital management. The interesting thing is they have increased the export revenue from being 5% of their total top line last year to 20% this year. So that's a very commendable performance. So great work, Thomas. Well done and keep it up. The first runner-up goes to Thangamani Maran. They have achieved a change in top line of 76% and a growth in profit of 300. Am I reading this right? 350%. And this is the second year running for this incredible performance. A lot of credit, I think, goes to the strategic team, which they have created, I think, about a year and a half ago, who has imbibed the culture of creating strategic plans and structured reviews. So I was there in the beginning of this when the strategic team was created. So yeah, I think it's been a great journey since then. So great work, Thangamani Maran. So Rakesh Tillamne is the winner of this year's Growth Award. So in spite of being a fairly large company in terms of turnover, top line, they achieved a top line growth of 42% and a profit growth of 190%. I think if we give these kind of figures to the Western world, they will say we are just, it's like crazy numbers, huh? Besides, what is more interesting about Rakesh is that they were very forward-looking and they created a new entity in the US, which is a very strategic move. So not only have they done well this year, this US entity creation, because of which they can get substantial growth in the coming years. So they are also preparing for the future years' growth. They also shown a great agility in changing the market and product segments in order to maintain the growth rates. I'll give you another interesting info bite, as it's called nowadays. Last year, the first position and the second position was Thangamani Maran was first and Rakesh was second. And this year they have just swapped. And let me tell you, they are very close in terms of their scoring. So I think they are really competing neck to neck for this award every year. Great stuff. I would like to now invite Rakesh to come on stage and say a few words.
Thank you, Ravi. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
So thank you very much. Last year, yes, I was first runner, and we had taken challenge of also StatPro. I don't know whether we are nominated for that, but one of the reason is not just me as a growth. StatPro has driven this growth. So StatPro, this time we have created SLT, we have created KTM, which was earlier sub KTM, and so growth due to US market, initially only US market we thought of, and then we entered into Canada also. So that is one of the another reason why we are able to grow. Yes, market is good for us, and we are able to, or rather we in the sense, not just me and not just the organizer, the employees, the associates who are making this drive to a success is to be congratulated as well. And obviously you both are part of that. So Ravi Mani and Ramas and my board tab 401 is part of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rakesh, and this is really good and very glad, very proud, obviously, very, very proud that you got to this. So congratulations to all three, and Rakesh, well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakesh. All right, now we'll go to the next award, innovation. As Ramas has already said, but I would like to re-emphasize that here we like to recognize investments in R&D, an innovative mindset, new product introductions, special certifications, etc. That's what we are really looking for. So this category is specific in its understanding of how profits are reinvested to spur future potential. And this requires a lot of willingness and vision to keep ahead. And so is one that motivates all of us. The nominees are Piyush Shah of Titan Laboratories, P. Rajagopalan of Primo Automation, and Viral Parekh of Kaumin Industries. Okay, and so let's go to the second runner-up. Second runner-up is Viral Parekh. Although they are a relatively smaller company, Viral and his team, they have taken initiatives for implementing formal quality management systems and expanded the infrastructure for better inventory management and strengthened the in-house quality testing facility. They are also doing research work. I mean, for a small company, this is like great stuff. They're doing research work for low carbon footprint mineral products for existing cement sheet customers. So very innovation oriented. I think we should commend him for that. So keep up the good work, Viral. Well done. The first runner-up goes to Rajagopalan of Primo. He has invested in capex for factory building and machinery, and investment in new product development. More importantly, I think I was told that they have added 2 patents in their name, which is like the real innovation stuff. So it speaks volumes on their openness to invest for the future. These are not easy to do, right? Getting patents or investing in new product development, etc., is not very easy. It requires very conscious efforts. So well done, Rajagopalan. Piyush Shah gets the Winners Award for innovation. They have done some incredible work in the last year. They've invested 50 crores since October 22 by acquiring a large plot and building a world-class manufacturing facility. And this is only the first phase of the plans. And the most interesting thing is this investment has been done solely from their internal resources, without any debt or external equity. They also commissioned 2 R&D centers, one in Mahad, which is interior part of Maharashtra, and the other is in Bombay. And they have also commissioned a new office with the objective of attracting new talent. So this is an example of huge investment for future growth and the performance over the last few years. And I think this requires tremendous courage, conviction, and commitment. So great stuff, Piyush, and welcome to the stage. Say a few words about your award. You're on mute, Piyush.
I can tell you one thing, Piyush is not usually used to being on mute. So probably this is the first time. But I wanted to say something.
Also, so obviously he cannot be on mute.
Star right? Also. So there he goes.
Yes, Piyush.
He's still back on mute. So while he does that, I wanted to anyway, after him I would have spoken. So now I want to say something before. Is personally, I think our own aspiration as TAB is to see the consistency and growth, right? To that extent, I think IP, and this is something I'm going to share from my personal view, that having intellectual property, patents, new business, laboratories, all the things that I'm seeing these 3 gentlemen talk about are things that normally India is not known for, and more importantly, SMEs are not known for. But to that extent, I believe that more and more of our growth drivers are going to come from people, not only people who grow, it is going to come from people who reinvest, people who invest in people and take it forward. So to that extent, very, very proud. Best wishes to all of you and congratulations. So I will now wait for Piyush to get on board. Oh, so Piyush cannot unmute is what I'm getting the message. So you know what? Why don't we kind of check on that? Because I don't see any reason why it should be.
Okay, maybe we should get him back
Okay,
later.
you should go ahead and I'll try and see if there's any other machine that he can be nearby. So Piyush, here is a suggestion. In case you want to log in from any other machine or any other person, let us know and you can just connect and take it forward. So go ahead with it, Ravi. We'll come back.
Okay. So now let's come to the third core category award, which is the Harmony Award. So this award is about how your employees view your company's HR policies and the culture of the organization, etc. So this is really a tough one because these are anonymous surveys filled out by the employees. And so we need, and also what we do is we need a good proportion of the employees responding. Otherwise, we don't consider them for this award. So we can use this as a, and incidentally, we will be sending out this data back to all of you later on so that you can also look at how your employees are viewing your company or yourself so that you can learn and grow, etc. The nominees are Govindarajan of Prasanna Precision, Israel Jnanaraj of Design Collaborative, Mitesh Katira of APMH, and D. Ravi of CMD Precisions. Now you'll think, why am I announcing 4 names? Well, there is a tie in one of them. So that's why we are announcing 4 names, right? So the second runner-up goes to Israel and Mitesh. This was a very interesting scenario. Nearly same kind of employee responses where we got 85% of the employees responding in both of their companies, nearly. And both of them scored an average score of about 4.25 out of 5. So this is like 4.25 is the average score which we have got from all the employees who have responded to their in their companies. And incidentally, this is the second year running for Israel as the second runner-up. So last year also he was the second runner-up. This year also he is the second runner-up. So great stuff from both of them. Let's go to this first runner-up, Govindarajan of Prasanna Precision. Again, nearly 80% of the employees participated in the survey, and he got a score of 4.8. Now I'm again started wondering. I rechecked, relooked to see whether this is real, and then I checked up with his facilitator, and he said that don't be surprised with these results. Govindarajan believes and practices in the saying that people are the most important asset in the company. So that's what he is actually practicing. So one of the stakeholders in the company, as CKR was mentioning, he's already taken care of. And the responses from the staff actually of Prasanna Precision, I think, reflects exactly this. So great stuff, Govindarajan. Well done. The winner is D. Ravi of CMD. 78% of their staff participated in the survey and they gave a rating of 4.85 out of 5. These are all out of 5, guys. Whatever numbers I'm saying. This is the result of several conscious initiatives. It is not automatic. I think Ravi has really put in some conscious initiatives for improving the harmony and culture of the organization. So I'm going to wait for Ravi to mention what are the initiatives and how he has actually achieved this kind of an amazing score. Let me welcome Ravi.
Yeah.
So share us the secret, Ravi. How did you do it?
at the outset, good evening to all. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can. Go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening to all. At the outset, I want to thank the TAB for organizing this annual conference, which is really giving a motivation for all of us and also giving a healthy competitive spirit to do better year on year. So thanks and congratulations to all the team of TAB. And I also should say thanks to and happy that thanks to my staff, my employees who has voted, given their confidential survey where they rated our company's HR policies. So I really happy and proud about that. And also it also gives me an added kind of a pressure and responsibility to maintain and sustain. And I also should be on the toes to see how I can able to keep it up to the expectation. Yeah. Because as Ravi has clearly told, the people are the core asset of an organization. Because the capital or machines and things are you acquire a build, okay, fine. But only thing, recruiting a people and sustaining and training them and retaining them is a big challenge. So that too, with the fast changing times, the expectations of the employees also on the up end. So we need to be on the toes to refrain our HR policies to keep sustain the employee retention policies and things like that. So overall, I'm happy and thank you once again for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Great stuff, Ravi. Keep it up.
Thank you. Well done, Ravi. I think you've been figuring out in these, in these awards, and I think all of them have been figuring out with these awards. Harmony is not easy, and it takes a while. So best of luck to all four of you, and well done, really well done.
Thank you, Ramas.
And
all right,
I just got I think we got an update in parallel that, but it slipped my mind to say that Piyush is actually traveling abroad, and so he's able to now log in. He's actually in Dubai, and I was aware.
Oh, okay.
That's why he had the challenge. But he's back because there are some privacy issues in Dubai, as we figured out. You know that in Dubai, over the internet, it is not just the application. You need to sort of so you need to set something up. So he just, I think, thanks to Ajinkya and coordination, he just realized. So he's going to come. He's going to join us now. And yeah, great. Oh, okay. So go ahead. Over to you.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much for the award. And as all acceptance speeches, I would first like to thank everybody involved. First, God, my family, our Titan team, my coaches, Ramas, Anish, Ravi. And of course, I would like to give a big shout out to my brothers and my top team at Titan. For us, innovation means to deliver more on time and at the right price. During the whole COVID situation, we have almost never increased any price. In fact, we supplied more and went beyond the customer expectation. I was always trying to diversify and do something new, and Ramas is the one that kept me in check and hold by not doing unrelated diversification. But when I proposed with an idea to build our API facility, which was needed for our cost, which was needed to supply more on time, and of course, which is now in trend in India to make in India, and of course to diversify from China. And he said, go all out. So 2 years ago, we started building the plant, which is next to our current facility. It's a huge facility, and for that facility, for next couple of years, we'll be in a project mode. And along with that, we needed recognition. We are doing a good job. We are doing exceptional growth and profitability, but people and employees were not aware. Hence, we decided to move out of our comfort zone and move. We almost moved 40 minutes away from our current headquarters from Ghatkopar to Navi Mumbai. And it was a testing time. As all of us know now, employees are the key challenge, key competitive advantage. Everything is employees. So Ramas gave us a path to slowly include them in the transition mode. We build a new R&D. A lot of our customer accepted, and a whole new vertical of API is there. We can now truly say we are an integrated pharmaceutical company from API to almost marketing authorization. So with this, we believe we are in the top 30, 40 exporting companies that have this kind of, leverage and this kind of skills. And like we said, I think our journey has just started. We are doing very good growth, but we want to now increase further. And again, like I said, the innovation is always to be competitive, to deliver more and produce more on time. Thank you very much. Thank you for the coaches. Thank you for my board. And thank you for all the team, staff members. Thank you for the work.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Really well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think it's also a part that all of us go through some personal challenges as well. And I'm just sharing my own view as a coach, right? It's been a tough 2 years, not only from a business point of view, but family, personal point of view also. And so I think I'm just glad that he's investing his time in the right place to grow. So well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So now we come to the final last award. Or is it the last? Maybe a second last. We'll see. StatPro. So among all the members running the StatPro program, here are the 3 that have had a significant team performance in achieving their annual goals for 23-24. Now, this year, we actually done a quantitative evaluation of the performance. And so what we did was we looked at all the objectives and then say how much we achieved. So every company did that annual, and I think it was a very good exercise of annual assessment. Now, okay, so the nominees are Chandra Shetty of Skytech, they are running StatPro for the first year. Okay, so they started only in about just at the beginning of the financial year, and they achieved 60% of their annual goals. But being the first year, we thought it's a very commendable achievement, because in the first year we tend to be a little over optimistic, and when we do annual goals, annual planning. So given all that, I think it is a fairly good performance. But next year they have promised me that they are going to achieve about 90%. I think that's what they have promised me. Let's see what they do. First runner-up, Rakesh Kumar of Karaikal. They achieved 70% of the goals planned in the annual operating plan. I think a great show. And finally, we have the winner, Venkata Subramaniam, achieving 83% of the planned goals. I think that's again a very creditable performance. But here is an amazing fact. This first and second positions is the same as last year. Rakesh was the runner-up, first runner-up, and Venkat Subramaniam was the winner last year too. So I'm wondering, why are these Pondicherry guys dominating this particular StatPro star? So what's the secret, guys? So let's hear it from Venkat. Venkat, I would like to welcome you to the stage.
Good evening, gentlemen. Firstly, I'd like to thank TAP for this prestigious award, which I've been getting this honor for the last 3 years running.
Oh, 3 years?
Also,
okay.
Yes, 2020, 21, 22. Yes. Wow. I also express my deepest gratitude to my facilitator, Mr. Madhavan, who has been assisting me in every step of transformational initiatives in my business. And I've been using StatPro since 2020. And now we have reached a stage that I could literally see where I was and where I am now. So we have developed a second level team now. But getting here has not been simple, because in our industry, most of the employees who have been working for us for quite a long time are not well educated. And even the management candidates we hire are not professionals. So we need to train them from the scratch, thanks to Madhavan sir. And recently we have implemented few projects successfully, right from providing full kit for production and identifying the production capacity and also the time, production timing as well. So also we are about to implement auto indent, which we should be completing in another week. So thank you very much, Rama sir and Ravimani sir, and also Madhavan sir for this over. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great stuff, yeah. Great stuff,
absolutely. And you're right. I think Rakesh and Venkat have been kind of, and I remember both of them being in the workshop with me very first, much before TAB together as well. So I think for me, it's a matter of happiness to see them there, and best keep it going, and best wishes, Venkat.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, there is one more award left. It's not an award, but we would like to definitely make some mentions about the honorable mentions. So honorable mentions, here are some business owners who deserve a special mention because these are the companies that have done extremely well and were really strong contenders for the awards. They just missed by a whisker. Okay. So we thought that it is not fair. We should mention them here. So here are the names. Underwer from Ability, Arun from Decon Architects, Chitra Shah from Satya School, Rahul from Ace Carbo, Rakib from TechMech, and Shikha Singh from R&T. I think these guys have done in their own, in many of the categories we could have considered them, but they just missed by a millimeter, I think. Okay, so great stuff from these guys. I would really congratulate them, and we'll see whether they can do better next time.
Yeah, I think it's also an important. Yeah, I think the applause was needed first, so that's good. But after that, I also want to mention that all our members, I mean, anybody who's been nominated has already done much better than what their own goals were, right? So that's the default. So everybody has done well. And also we have some strict criteria where it is not possible to get nominated. Even if you've done well, you may or may not get nominated in another category one way or the other. So there are some, strictness in the way it goes about it. And therefore, I think all of these people who have done well and like Ravi said, maybe miss it by a millimeter, I think deserve the accolades and they're winners in their rights. And it's just a millimeter to go for the next year. So I think that's the way we would look at it. So well done, guys.
Okay. I think with this, we will now formally call this conference to a close. I wish to extend our sincere thanks to all the participants to make this session a memorable one. As is our tradition, we will now bring all the participants into the live Zoom call, and they can share for some live interactions and share their views. Thank you very much, guys, and see you next year.
Thank you, Ravi, and thanks to the team for making this happen. So like Ravi said, we are formally calling the conference to an end right now, but we would invite as many people as possible to please come over and stage and share your feedback, your thoughts, and be together for a while, like we said, so that we can all kind of share and thoughts and any question and answers and take it forward. So once again, thank you everybody for a great year. And to remind you though, that the planning has just begun. So the conference is over. We've got some ideas. I'm sure you guys have started the APR. We're going to look forward to meeting. Personally, I'm looking forward to meeting each and every one of you in the face-to-face events because we're going to discuss a lot of trends, bring your questions. It'll be open house thoughts. So I'll take all the repository in the second phase and then we complete our planning. So this is the single biggest thing that I think we should get into the rhythm for. So I look forward to meeting every one of you. So please join us on screen and then we can have a chat. Thank you so much.